What is good, ladies and gentlemen, gold members and non-gold members right now? If you're on Facebook, you probably can see this stream, and we're going to keep it live for a few seconds, right up until the part where we bring guests on. But if this is your first time watching me go live, then you obviously know that I am Black by popular demand. And today we're going to talk about ways to increase your sales ticket by 25%. A little simple trick that I use to increase my average video sale by about 25%, sometimes a little bit more. And it's something that I'm going to pass on to my gold members today. So if you are not a gold member, I will encourage you to go to YouTube and hit that join button because we're about to get ready to allow some gold members to pop on. We got a few that's waiting here. We're going to let them jump on, and we're going to talk a little bit about just this one major trick that is very important that you offer. And it's something I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to show you how to outsource it. I'm going to show you how to make the profit. All right. With that being said, gold members, we can get ready to, we can get ready to jump on this thing, and we can get ready to go ahead and go forward. Everybody else, I want to say stay safe. Keep watching whatever news channel you're watching to figure out who we're going to be calling president next. And I will see you guys on the next live video. If you're a non-gold member, you'll be on the next live video, which is Tuesday. But for my gold members, I want y'all to hang tight because we're about to get right into it. Let's do it. Oh, before we go, yeah, that's it. We'll say the rest of the gold members. All right, let's go all gold with this. Cool. We'll get that a second to pop on. Make sure everybody's good. And I want to kind of go over this thing while I got your attention, got everybody in here. A few people in the chat room. Listen, something that is really important and something to offer your clients that a lot of people forget to when it comes to offering video production, that I have been able to increase my sales numbers a significant amount looking over when I offered this service and when I didn't, is keeping in mind that we live in a world that or we live in a country that is a multilingual country. Like, people speak multiple languages, right? So anytime I do a promotional video, a training video, a video that talks about the company, this for corporate work, I always offer my client the ability to have a separate video in a different language. A separate video in a different language. Now, the language I usually work in often is Spanish. So, hey, Ty, I don't speak Spanish. How in the world am I going to do that? Perfect. I'm glad you asked. Often I do a lot of videos that are voiceover. And they are voiceover, or even if there's someone speaking on screen, I usually offer two different options. One is captions, but captions suck. Captions can be done. I'm usually charging about 25 cents a word, which can get pricey. It won't cost me that to get it done because there's companies that'll do it for $1 a minute. But for me, there's a profit margin in that. Remember, you don't want to give up that profit margin. You want to make sure that you're making a profit and you're comfortable. I usually prefer voiceover talent, right? So I usually prefer voiceover. So I usually get a script from a client, break it down into sections, provide that script to my voiceover talent. And I'm going to tell you why you want to break it down into sections. Let me just talk on that for a minute. Because if they're talking for, let's say let's say the script is 5 sentences, right? I usually have my 5 sentences broken up into sentence 1 is sentence 2, sentence 3, sentence 4, sentence 5, whatever. I usually break it up like that, right? And I will get it on a Word document where I'll have sentence 1 section, sentence 2 sections. That way, when I provide it when I go to Fiverr and I hire somebody that does voiceovers in Spanish, they're going to translate it and do a voiceover. I know that I need to make everything they say that's part A fit in part A of the video. That way I know that he's still talking about something that's relevant to what we're showing. I've learned in the past that when I don't do this, people will say, well, because Spanish is typically longer than English. Like, we say things faster than they would in Spanish. 5 seconds of talking in English is usually about 7 to 8 in Spanish. So I may either have to add additional clips, or what I have done is I've grabbed what's there and I'll retime it to fit the 8 seconds for Spanish. So that way I can have the same video and I can have an English version and a Spanish version. And all I did was went to Fiverr, spent $50 or $60 to have someone translate it and create a voiceover, and I've charged the client $500 or $600 because we're doing a separate video and it's separate editing times. And it's just like getting 2 videos instead of 1 video. This for the client helps out tremendously, because depending on where you are, if you are on a border town or around any state that has a mixed population, or you're dealing with any type of client, like I'll give you an example. I've worked with lawyers who had English speaking clients, they had Spanish speaking clients. They just wanted to have both videos to explain what they do, and it worked perfectly. So it's something that you can keep in mind as you move forward and you're dealing with a client who may benefit from having a version of a video in multiple languages. And again, it adds a separate, so instead of getting 1 video, they're getting 2. Now, I'm not saying I would charge them the same amount for 1 video because we already shot it, but based on my pricing structure, based on my base price structure, I'm going to charge them a second edit, right? Which is usually 25 to 40% of the total price. So they're paying for 2 edits. Now, mind you, well, Ty, what if they got Instagram videos? What if they got this? They got Instagram story. Perfect. We're just doubling that. So it's something to think about if you're in a place where there are multiple, people that speak different languages, which is a majority of the country. Wherever you go, you may want to say, hey, do you want to add a Spanish version? Do you want to add a this type of version? Do you want to add a that type of version? And it's important that you offer that, and it's something that can bring more profit to your pockets, and it'll cost you 60, 50, 40, $20 on Fiverr. So it is a way for you to make more money, and you're not doing more work. You're just slicing up the video and stretching it or adding in another B-roll clip right into it. So depending on what you do, depending on what type of who your niche is, they may cater to an audience that is not a English speaking audience. And this is a way for you to make sure that you solve a problem that they have, and you're able to upsell or offer more profit on your ticket. Something to definitely think about. Real quick, let me go into the crew that I got on. What's going on, everybody?
What's going on, man? Good evening. What's going on?
Oh man, he in HD this week, boy. He ain't playing down there in the bottom left.
Hey, got my mic out here too. It's finally working.
Okay. I like that. Y'all good today?
Yeah.
Charlie.
That's what's up. Any of you run into anything like this? You run into out in the field working with clients who need multiple languages?
Not yet.
Okay.
No, but being in Florida, it's definitely an opportunity to do that. That's something that I didn't really think about. It's a very eye opener right there. So I need to definitely get on to that.
Yeah, in Florida, you may have Spanish, you may have Cuban speaking, you may have a lot of different slices of the pie that you could possibly go after in Florida, because it's such a melting pot. And I mean, it just depends on where you're at. It depends on where you're at. You may be in a place where there's at least English and Spanish, and it may be something that you can bring to the business owner. Like, look at the stats. Hey, 40% of the population in this area speaks Spanish. They may not know nobody. They may say, hey, just pull up the stats. 40% of the people, or 20% of the people in your area speak Spanish. They also typically use your services and products, but they don't know that you exist, or don't feel comfortable maybe approaching you because they don't fully understand everything that you're pushing or selling or trying to advertise. However, doing a version of this video in Spanish, they can bring in just a bigger audience. So just something to think about as you approach that client, and just something extra to keep in your pocket that will bring you another, those are little things that people are like, gosh, I never thought about that. Like, you're right. This guy knows what he's talking about. This is why I want to work with this company. This is why I keep coming back. And now they went from spending, 10,000 to 13, 14,000. And I'm just using easy numbers. So something to definitely keep in your pocket and continue to work when you are moving in that area. Josh said, well, let's work with dentists in Michigan. Yes. Okay. So depending on where you are in Michigan, I know, being from Detroit, Dearborn is one of the largest Arabic populations in the country. I mean, you would definitely have a version that's in Arabic, or it was different languages. So there were like Chaldean that were more of the Christian belief, and then there were Arabic. Like, you could have different versions. The languages are a little different between the two, depending on where they were from. But I mean, it's definitely something that you could offer in your area, and something I would definitely consider. Jamal got the drink champ. I can't even speak. Drink champs set up over there. I was supposed to say, it looked like he filming an episode of Drink Champs.
Hey, it's all about the peanut butter whiskey, man. It's actually pretty good. You try it with almond milk.
I've
You
never
tasted it.
I can't do milk and liquor to save my life, bro. I can't do Kahlúas or none of that, bro.
So that's the thing. You never taste the liquor. You taste the peanut butter and you taste the almond milk. Definitely try it.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to, anything that's milk, like, I can't. It's just I can't do it, bro. I'll be jacked up. I'll be jacked up.
Oh no. Almond milk won't mess you up. I promise you. Yeah, I'm lactose intolerant too. I'll be blowing up in it too. But you gotta try that. Hey, try almond milk. Almond milk will help you save your life, man.
I would definitely do it. Yeah, I got to get the non-lactose whatever. I kind of stay away from it. I just learned to live without it. So let me see. Real quick, Stingray says, how do we go about reviewing sites and demo reels? There is a email address. Actually, let me see if I got the email address as a graphic on here already. I don't. So let me give you guys that email address. So I can pull that up. I'll put that on here real quick. Let me put that at, make sure I got that correct. Anybody else run into or in a location where there's multiple languages while I type this up?
Yeah, but I have, because I live in Florida, just like I
Jamel,
don't really Jay
Jamel, Jay,
Jamal.
whichever one.
Okay, yeah, but I don't do videos, so it's like it's hard for me to, as far as the title goes, it's hard for me to relate to it. But I'm trying to get into more video work, so I'm just kind of like learning as I go, just because I know you guys do a lot of like video production, and I'm coming from the photography standpoint, but I'm trying to learn the video production side of it. So it's just
Do you
it's
do a
kind of
lot of
going
like
about it.
graphics and do you do a lot of graphics and um like posters or like marketing material?
No, I I just do more of like marketing content, as far as like products, personal, just pretty much everything. But like I told you in the last live, I'm trying to just kind of narrow that down.
Right, right.
Just because I like to do a lot of things, but I know it's not good to, just because you want to focus on something that is going to be pretty much the bread and butter, like you've been saying. So yeah, I don't do anything like graphic design. It's just more of like straight up photography, just kind of like commercial work. So just all of that.
Okay, yeah. And this is something that will work for your brand as well, right? If you got a demo reel, if you're in the area, if you got marketing material, I've seen photographers have sites that were in multiple languages, where people can click on a language and get just two different versions. So just keep that in mind when you're working
Hmm.
with, if you say you want to help with Mexican restaurants or restaurants in general, there's no way you shouldn't have a Spanish version of your website if you're looking to go after Mexican restaurants. Like that's just crazy to me.
Yeah.
It's just crazy to me.
Yeah.
If that's what you want to do, it's something I would strongly consider for yourself, and it don't cost nothing. The cost is very minimal when you are, using Fiverr and using translators and things like that. And you also get cool with a translator that you work with a lot, and they do a lot, and you can shoot stuff back and forth, and and they'll know your style after a while.
Yeah, I actually know Spanish, but as far as like translating and doing all the script work, I wouldn't do that myself just because yeah, I may know Spanish, but there's another level of Spanish that it's more of like a professional Spanish,
Yeah.
So I'd rather pay somebody to do that. Um I was gonna ask you, so as far as like if let's say you were working with food trucks, would you, as far as niching down, would you focus on um on one type of food trucks, or can you just target all of them? As far as like as far as food
Mhm.
goes. I mean, obviously it's food trucks, but
I think food trucks itself is a tighter niche than going after just taco food trucks. I think food trucks, because I think what a food truck operator or owner would go through, a lot of other food truck, no matter what you sell, would probably be in the same situation. Only because a lot of times, if you're working on site and you walk out and it's a food truck, if you're in a position where that's close, that's convenient, you almost don't care what it is. Like you'll get whatever. If it's tacos one day and barbecue the next, you'll just pick some off the menu. It's not like you're as picky if unless you got multiple food trucks. But I think food trucks itself is a niche that is narrow enough. Yeah, I definitely think that's yeah, that's a good route. Especially you can do a lot with food trucks, man. You can do a lot of. I can just think of 1,000 different shots of just drone shots and just dope shots of
yeah.
food trucks and them being everywhere in different locations, and just pushing the idea of them interacting with their community and being a part of their community, and maybe somebody on the app looking for where they are. I can see a lot of shots with food trucks and things you can do to help a food truck be more successful, especially dealing with social media. Like social media is important for a
Yeah.
food truck because you know literally and physically it has a following, so there's a lot
Yeah.
you can do with food trucks. As long as I know, you can get fluctuations in weather in Florida, not as extent as some places up north. But find out if they have a season or not, and if they do, be prepared to go through that low with them. If that's your main niche, and that's something big that I talk about, and you'll see in the master course that depending on what your niche is, you want to find out if that niche has a season because you're gonna go through whatever they go through, and either get a second niche that offsets that, or just be prepared. If you do weddings, December, January, February, you're not going. You need to save up until it start getting warm and you start going back doing engagements and things like that. So it's important that you're mindful of that.
Mm.
I think. My
So,
bad. Go ahead.
oh yeah, no, go ahead. I know he had his hand up. I'll let him.
No, you go ahead and finish. I'll ask after.
Okay, so you talking about having kind of like a second niche to focus on. What would you target, or not target? What would you partner up with something like like food truck photography or videography?
So I would try to get it as close as possible. So it's either going to be on something mobile or something edible, something as close as
Mm-hmm.
possible, so that your expertise won't have to be completely different. You know what I'm saying? Like if I met a chef that cooked barbecue, I wouldn't be too far. I wouldn't be thrown off too much if he was also like made really good fajitas or something. You know what I'm saying? Because it's close.
Yeah.
But if I met a chef that cooked barbecue and then he wanted to paint my house, I'd be like, dude, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So to make it easier for you to market and advertise and hold that same trust, try to make it as close as possible to that. And believe it or not, when you go from corporate video to wedding video, you completely lose all trust. It's complete. You're starting from scratch. because people who want corporate videos don't want wedding videographers. And it's something I'm gonna tell you, and I said it before in some videos. It didn't even dawn on me until I overheard a client who hired me, and he made a joke like, I kept getting a bunch of wedding photographers and wedding videographers. Like, these guys can't be serious. And I'm thinking, like, it's the same thing, but okay. And it was crazy because I had somebody I had, let's say somebody I had paid for, I was doing mentorships, and I was paying for what are they called? Kind of consultant, same thing I kind of offer. And they were like, take weddings off your website. And I was like, huh? Like, why? Like, I do it, but it's like, completely take it off. Go with a different brand. I was like, what are you talking about? Like, all right, I'm paying you all this money. This stuff better be right, bro. Like, I better see some results, bro. I'm coming to your house and I'm kicking your dog. And I did that, shot up. And I would get tons of people like, man, thank God you guys specialize in corporate, because everybody wants to shoot weddings and try to shoot our video. They don't understand. Or thank God you guys are wedding photographers. I'm getting these guys shooting these boring corporate videos, and you know what I'm saying? And they want us to hire them. So I literally had flash film weddings and flash film media. Almost same everything. I literally took the page on Squarespace, copied it, made it pinker, more earth tone-ish, added some shots I took of some weddings, and threw a package up, and it was just night and day. But I had to make sure, again, we're talking about two different marketing budgets going in two different directions with two different seasons. Flash film media, my season was it overlapped, you know what I'm saying? It overlapped, but my season was like June, July, August, September, October, like almost from June to November, because it was conference seasons. I was doing a whole lot of conferences. Conferences was big. Where weddings were kind of March to July, August-ish. You know what I'm saying? So they overlapped, but when wedding season was over with, you can forget about it. Like, it's nothing. You'll get calls. You will get deposits in December, because a lot of people get engaged or get married, or a lot of people, I guess I don't say discover love over the holidays, but it usually happens Thanksgiving, Christmas. You know, you're gonna start seeing your Facebook timeline pop up with a bunch of women with a ring on every shot. You like, oh, I got the, hey, you know what I'm saying, all that crap. You'd be like, let me see your little ring. So, you know what I'm saying? So that's usually the time of year. But during the end of the physical year, which is after October normally, I would get, corporate wise, I get booked for, because we did events. We did get a lot of holiday parties, which was out the window this year. Christmas, like from October to December, it's usually Halloween parties, Thanksgiving parties, Christmas parties, and then award ceremonies, like end of year award ceremonies, packed on those. Boom, boom, boom. So with that, and even though I had, the photo booth as well, I don't talk about it a lot on the channel, which I'm gonna start getting into that a lot more too. I would have that booked out. So I'd have somebody booking that at an event, or I'd have the ability to offer photography coverage, video coverage, and a photo booth. So instead of getting, one medium check, I'm getting 3 big checks from it. My photo booth, I built it. I didn't buy one of these $10,000 photo booths. So that's a course that'll be coming in the future, how to build it off Amazon, market it, grow it, and everything. I literally built my photo booth from Amazon of pieces that I put together, and was like, yo, I can do this. And it was doper. My photo booth was touchscreen. It had a big screen. It was way doper than the booths you'll pay for to take an iPad. So that's something that'll be coming in the future. And I want to say that the photo booth side alone probably brought in an extra 70,000-80,000 just in photo booth stuff.
In a year?
Yeah, in a year. So that's just the photo booth. I get some kid from high school to set it up. And I've probably made in total with the photo booth, maybe a $4,000 to $5,000 investment, maybe. And that's just gear, the booth. I don't think it's 5,000. I want to say $4,000. Gear, booth, props, maybe website. So yeah. Like I'm getting calls now for the photo booth, and I'm not doing it because I don't want to be at a party in the middle of COVID. Somebody's coughing and I'm in a booth. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm inside the booth and somebody cough. We ain't nowhere to run. Like, I got it. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. I call you Jamal, but it's Jamal. You ain't correct me. Go ahead, bro.
It's all good. Either or. But so question about that. So whenever you get your photo booth and everything, right? Can you like hire somebody that don't mind being in that situation, and then you still get that money within
Oh,
that?
for sure. I was charging $250 an hour for a photo booth, 4 hour minimum. I can pay somebody $50 an hour, which is mind blowing, which is more than I would normally pay. If it's somebody I knew, I would, I'd pay them that. But 4 hours, I'm making 1,000. They making 200. If somebody sat there and pressed print, 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 print for an hour straight, it would cost me. It was 13 cents a print, right? It takes 2 minutes to print a photo. It takes, in fact, no, I'm sorry. It takes 5 minutes to go through the process. Stop, pose, take a picture. Hey, here are your pictures. So, it didn't take, it wasn't so, you just couldn't, the cost wasn't a lot. So let's just do the simple math on that.
So that's at least if you're doing 5 minutes of group shot or whatever, that's basically 12 clients that you got coming through.
Yep, 12 clients
An
times 13 cents.
Dude, that's nothing. That's like $1.30 plus, like
Right.
whatever. So you're like around $1.50. That's like
I think it's $1.56 an hour. That's what it'll cost me. Now that price would go up if it's 5 people in the booth, and then 4 of them want copies, or you know what I'm saying. So, okay, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, so here's an extra copy. You know what I'm saying? So pure profit. And it was something that, because I got into it because I was doing corporate event photography, and I would go to these corporate events and it would be a photo booth. So I would, and this is companies like photo booths, because, excuse me, they can have their logo on the printout. They'll do a backdrop with their I bet somebody's fighting over there.
No,
You all right?
yeah. You know, the wife doesn't like being on camera, so she didn't realize.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
I ain't gonna have her kill me.
no, but
I'll
I'll be the one getting beat up. I'll send you the check though. Don't worry.
Yeah, you gotta take that one for the team. You'll be back. Yeah,
I'll be back in the hospital for a third time.
I was gonna say that. That's the rough way to go out. But yeah, so I would companies like it because, like I said, they get to put their brand on it. And I'm gonna tell you a few other ways that I didn't even mention. Since we talking photo booths for a quick second, companies would want their logo on the printouts. Cool, I would design it with their logo at their event. But then I would upload all of the final pictures to Shootproof, right? And they would send out the link to Shootproof. And I would make it so that the reel is free to download, but if you want individual pictures, then you pay like $1 for them or something. Like if you want the big pictures instead of just the printout with everything, people will buy them. So that's a whole nother, you know what I'm saying? Or you can get it on, Shootproof automatically put it on like shirts, mugs, and all. You can get it on however. And if it's, a wedding or something, like they would sell. So I'm not saying they would bring in $1 million, but you may get an extra on a good event, $200-$300 out of the online portion. And then you got to also think about this too. When it comes to corporate photo booths, because a lot of people do parties, and you got a wedding gonna be 4 hours, or you got, a bar mitzvah or whatever. I get a lot of photo booths for that. But what people don't realize is if a company doing a 7-day event, they want that photo booth on site for 12 hours a day for 7 days. Right. So let's go back and do that, that simple math. That's 84 hours times $250 an hour. That's 21,000.
Just
so
for a week, dude.
For a week with a photo booth. And you will stand there and be bored out of your mind. Because I'm gonna tell you, 75% of the time, nobody's at the photo booth because they're in the event. You just there all day because they want you before it start. They want you there doing breaks. They want you there after. So you're sitting there like these, like, do. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Jamal.
21,000 ain't boring. I'm gonna be the smiling, the happiest man on earth. Just
Yep.
How y'all doing?
It's you're just gonna be there. Like, where y'all get that food from? All right, bring me a plate. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Or,
right.
you know what I'm saying? It's cool. And then you get events where people drunk, and you get events where people are drunk. Like you got to pull them out of the booth. Or I did like
Yes.
colleges, so you got a bunch of kids, or you get a bunch of crazy drunk women. Hey, how you doing? I had one time, this girl begged me to take a picture with her. I'm in there posing. She all like, you know what I'm saying, all up on me and all this. And her husband come in there, and I'm like, oh, no, I'm just a little retarded little attendant. I don't know, but like she was like, and I was like, dude. Luckily, I was bigger than the dude, so I kind of was like, bro, we got one more picture to take. Wait outside, like
No, you didn't.
stay out there, bro. We got one more picture to take. Me and but I was like, yo, chill with that. She was lit. Hey, you. I was like ducked off in the back. You cute. Come take these pictures with me. And I'm just standing there like this, and like she had like grabbed my hand and like put it around her. I was like, bro, you about to get me killed, sis, in here. But like she you know, it is what it is. Dude walked in like, excuse me. I was like, sir, you gotta wait till you next. You better get in line. I'm thinking he just, you know what I'm saying, like wanted to get in the booth, but that was his wife. She left and kissed him. I'm like, oh snap. All right, hey, not my problem. And it's crazy. I'm gonna tell you what's crazy. I got hired to do that at same event the very next year. And seen the same couple there.
Okay.
It was awkward to the mud.
They were still together?
They were still together.
Okay,
it was awkward to the mud. I was like, oh, see, you haven't grown much, sir. But it was real awkward, man. It was crazy. I should put that on the top tails, but it is what it is.
But straight up, I will definitely, I mean, not that you need it, but just validate, you know, the success and the popularity of those photo booths. Because the company that my wife works with, I think almost every year, obviously we didn't have it like this year, but like every year they've had a Christmas party, there's been a photo booth. Every single time, photo booth, photo booth, photo booth. Yeah. And all of us, her friends, you know, I go, all the husbands up in there and everything. And it's just a popular event. So, yeah, I mean, there's plenty of money to be made for it. Plenty of money.
And what's crazy is, just like with everything else I preach, nobody targets corporate events for photo booths. I don't know why. People want to do personal events. They want to do weddings. They want to do parties. But nobody says we are the photo booth for corporate events. So, and that's kind of where I did everything. I got props that said stuff like "Here for the beer" or "Future CEO." Like I got props that were just built on corporate stuff. You know what I'm saying? Usually I had a prop that said something like, you know, usually take a break longer than an hour, just funny corporate stuff. And then I had a whole set of adult only props, right? Twerk Zone and Freak of the Week and Company Freak and just, you know, weird stuff like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? He can beat up again.
Yeah.
So, you know, I had all of that. And I would ask them beforehand, like, hey, you know, are these okay? And sometimes they'd be like, put them out there. If it was an open bar, it was so much fun. Oh, he getting whooped up. Jab.
Hey, stop. Don't be giving her no ideas.
I was helping you out. I was telling you to lead with the jab. Sorry. I ain't worried about her. Her.
She can handle herself, trust me.
I'm worried about you. Go ahead, Frozen.
Yeah, I got a question, a little off topic. Mm-hmm. So say that you're in a sales meeting with a prospect and you tell the prospect that this video can increase your sales up to 25%. Is that far-fetched, or is that something that you could get off?
So you never want to throw out a number that is as a promise. The way you want to bundle that is based off your experience. It makes it way more relevant. You never want to say it as, this is going to do this for you. You want to position it as, you know, because I've worked with nothing but companies like yourself, we've seen companies grow by, you know, somewhere around 25% whenever we created this type of video for them. So you don't want to put the weight on the video. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to put the weight on yourself. That's kind of like me saying, I guarantee you, you know, when I do your video, it's going to get 10,000 views. No. However, whenever I've worked with companies in this area and we were able to shoot a video into this topic, we've seen typically about 10,000 views. That way, if it don't happen, they're not coming back to you like, I want a refund. You promised me this. No, there's some, you know, that company did some things to help those numbers. Like they were involved with that. We are a part of your success. we're not solely responsible for all of your success. So just something to think about.
Okay. And another question.
Yeah, go for it, bro.
Now, how long does it take for, because I'm inexperienced in this regard, how long does it take for a typical video to start making progress? Would you say about 6 to 12 months?
Depending on what niche it is and how much research you do as far as what keyword, like if it's under a hot topic, like right now, if you create something that's about elections or something, like, you know what I'm saying? Like right now, people are just hungry for it. Like if you created a video, like there was a Vox video that says, what happens if somebody win the presidency and the current president don't want to go without a fight? Like, what's the next step? Like those videos are big right now. They're shooting through the roof because people are searching for it. So it just depends on what area you in, what niche it is, and what people are looking for. And if it's hot, it's hot. You know, I did a video on boat tours that did 80,000 views in the first month that I didn't see coming. It was a beta client, and 80,000 views, he got a ton of clients off of it. Whatever price I threw out for the next one, he was like, bet. I done already made 50,000 off the free video. So if you want to charge me 15 for the next, I'll take 2. Jamal, go ahead.
Thank you.
So I had a question that I was meaning to ask. So I just got my Part 107 for the drone, have my license and everything. So I remember that you mentioned that a company tried to wreck you for flying over Dallas. What was the reason?
Okay, so back then, before they announced the 107, there was only a certain amount of companies that could do it. Like they came out with you can say rules as to what you need to fly commercially. Then it stopped because they had to refigure it out. Right when it stopped, if you didn't get in that time where it stopped, you almost had 2 years of just free every paid drone shot that was needed in your area. Like you was one of the only 3 or 4 that was listed on the FAA to do it. So one of those companies snitched on me because I wasn't listed. I was just out doing it. And they were like, it was literally 3 companies for the city of Dallas. So they looked at the footage and was like, I don't remember seeing Flash Film Media on the list. You know, we about to drop a dime on these cats. You know what I'm saying? I don't remember seeing them on the list. And that's how it happened. Because remember, actually, the video that I did it on was the video I was talking about, the beta testing with the boat rides. I did a video for him on doing boat rides, the drone shots of the boat, you know what I'm saying, over the water. And, you know, it did 80,000 views in the first month. So this video popping is moving. It's beautiful drone shots. And they like, well, one of the 3 guys didn't do it. Who did it? Because those 3 companies were so overwhelmed with business at the time. They were just passing them around, like, see if they're available. You know, they had good relationships, so they're like, see if they're available. They're available. You know what I mean? I might be able to put you on the calendar for the 2 months. They had a good relationship. So for me to come up and start, I was knocking them out. Boo, boo. They like, who is this guy? Who is this company? We snitching.
So whoever reported you really tried to get you up out of here.
Yes,
damn.
Definitely. Yeah, it was a hater move. It wasn't.
At the same time, they created isn't that like some kind of violation to group up and try to build something like that?
At the time, it was the only thing to do. It was the only way to do it because the FAA hadn't come out with solid rules. Instead of what they should have did was continue to allow people to get their pilot license while they figured it out, but they didn't. They put a hold on it. So whoever had it in that 2 years was, like I said, they were the only ones that could do it. And I guess they didn't see it taking off like it did, because at first, man, you could charge 3, 4, 5,000 for what would take you 2 batteries on your drone. Like, if that. Like, you can charge a ton of money for drone shots. I put it to you like this. I bought my van off 2 drone shots. I remember doing the second one where the guy gave me the check, and I literally cashed it. I literally took it to his bank so I can cash it, and I literally went and got my van like the next day. So, you know, these companies are, you know, they're slammed, and they are making probably $200,000-300,000 a month at the time. They don't want you coming in stealing 10, 12, 50 of it. Like, they ain't having it. And they were just not, they wasn't trying to share that money.
So how do you feel about drone footage like now in 2020?
The profit margins aren't there as much, but I think it's still a necessity. I think it's just great to have an establishing shot. It's perfect for B-roll. It is a B-roll tool. And another thing also, which some of y'all gonna run into, the 3 companies that was on the list, they didn't look like this. They wasn't having it. So, and that's when I used to have my picture on my website. They was like, oh, okay. So nobody even called me like, yo. In fact, I'm gonna tell you what else they did. In fact, not only did they call in on me, somebody submitted some BS paperwork saying that I told somebody that I had my license. And it was not the case. It wasn't even my signature or nothing. It was like Tyron Turner. They didn't even spell my name right. I'm like, dude, I don't spell my name wrong. This ain't my signature. So they was trying to get me thrown under the bus. And literally, I'm gonna be honest with you, had I not had the military experience that I had and the relationships that I had, I would have been toast. It was 250,000, like federal, like it was 250,000 that they wanted from me, before we even finished all of their whole investigation. So
That's when you know you're a threat, man, and you're good or great at what you do. Is when something like that happens. That's when you know you're making moves and you're making an impact. People noticing.
oh, you're gonna have haters. Get ready.
Yep.
They're gonna be
haters gonna hate.
They're gonna hate. You're gonna have business haters, you're gonna have family haters, you're gonna have haters. Go ahead, bro. Frozen.
So you've had other instances, perhaps not as large as the 250,000, where you had like another company or someone else really try to hate on you.
Oh yeah, most definitely. You're gonna have competition. See, this is the thing. There are a lot of people who are in business who don't understand business. And they don't know how to offer a product or a service that beats yours. They can just undercut you, badmouth you, try to give you bad reviews. That's the only way they know how to compete. They don't know how to compete in a true form of business. Walmart don't talk about how much Target sucks to make people not shop at Target. They try to offer a better environment, a better price, a better product. You don't badmouth other companies. But people who are usually in the lower end part of business or don't really understand business will downplay another company in order to upplay their company. And it's not good for business. It doesn't really make you look better. It makes you look like you're the type to just complain. So it's just something that it comes along with the territory, especially as you get out of the weeds, right? As your business grow and you start to separate from the companies that are, I ain't gonna say they trash, but you start to separate from the people who don't want to educate themselves on how business works. They want to just see it and think they can replicate it. They will be the ones that hate on you. As you grow and you get to you move out of the weeds, those companies will respect you because they feel like you came from where I came from. I get it. Like, I respect that movement. Jamal, go ahead, bro. Oh man, that mic ain't working, bro. You on mute.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Had his word.
Had me worried for a minute.
Another one. Joshua Gibson had a question where it says, where are you now compared to those companies? Are they considered competition, or are they still are you still far ahead?
Good looking out on that question. So they specialize in mostly drone stuff. Like, they are like high-end drone stuff. They're doing like roofing companies, because a lot of roofing companies are dealing with a lot of drones. Because if you got a drone that has the camera on it that can detect heat, what they're doing now is they'll just fly over your house, take a picture of your house, see the heat spots, and then use that to market to you. Hey man, they got heat spots in your roof. Do you want to have someone come out and look at it? And you're like, dang, I never noticed that. Yeah. So they're doing different things like that. They're doing inspections for like electrical companies where they can send a drone up and look at it. They're doing stuff like windmill inspections. So they're off in a different lane than I am. However, if I catch them in the streets, they still catching hands. I mean, however, I'm, I don't mess with them like that. I don't know which one did it. The agent wouldn't tell me which one. However, I do know it was one of the three because there's only 3 in at the time.
They can all get it.
They can all catch these hands. Yep. On site.
Okay, so you said family hate too. So what did they
Oh,
say?
yeah.
Like they say little slick stuff, or did they take it to the next level?
Kind of both, depending on your family. I mean, you got to realize this. Look, there may come a time where I'm kind of catching it from my whole father side of my family right now. Like they think I'm just filthy rich. You know, anything come up, they just want to sue me. They want to get lawyers involved. Like, bruh, I stepped on your shoe back in '86. You trying to sue me for that? So you know what I'm saying? It'd be like that. Like I'm just, what they say, more money, more problems. Then you got to realize this. This is something that you're like. This is going to be something that you're going to be faced with, and I don't want to BS you on this. At some point in your life, you're going to wake up and get paid more than the average person who's going to work every day to touch your camera. You're going to be smiling. You're going to be happy. Your house going to change. Your car going to change. Your clothes going to change from your camera. And there's going to be a person that hate what they doing that's watching you go from A to B. And it's not going to sit right with them. They're not really mad at you. They're mad at themselves because, like everybody can tell you, oh, you about to do something with that camera. You about to do, and you actually did it. And they gave up on their dream to go work at a job that they hate. And they mad at you. Really, like I said, they mad at themselves, but they looking at you like this, man. Out here doing all this, like I get that a lot. He on YouTube and, he got the little flash. He got his little company and you start to see the word little appear in your accomplishments. He got the little flash media company and he taking his little pictures and he working with little Toyota. And I see him down at the hospital working with that little, what I'm saying? You start seeing a lot of that. So it's just life, man. More money, more problems. I don't want to tell you that's not coming because it's coming.
Sorry you gotta go through that, man. Sorry to everybody else that's having to deal with it or will be dealing with it. It's just, like you said, it's part of the game, but stay strong. Don't let it distract you.
Oh, I'm in my own bubble. Batrick, yes, there is a discount code for the contract pack. I will post it on the member section of I won't say it here because this will be on the podcast, but I'll post it in the member section, the community tab, right as we wrap. Go ahead, GMO.
All right, so okay, so I got contacted to do a headshot session for a team of 4, right? Mm-hmm. So I know I'm trying to niche down, but how would that affect me, as far as doing headshots with my actual niche, as let's say food trucks, just because I want to be able to get a videographer out just to make a reel out of this, just because I want to be able to provide those headshot service, for other people. So, making a demo reel would, be the smartest thing. But how would it affect me with what I want to do? Just because it isn't the same thing as far as commercial work, but it's not, food and headshots. It's 2 different things.
It wouldn't negatively affect you. It also wouldn't positively affect you in a way. Mm-hmm. Headshots is something that I tell any videographer to learn how to do, right? Because whenever you get a client that hires you for corporate work, they need headshots. Don't go nowhere else for it. Yeah. Let me show you what I got. You know what I'm saying? So headshots is kind of, it's like chicken tenders at Olive Garden. Like it's not what we specialize in, but if you got a kid that don't want Italian or you need something different, we got it. So let me give you an example of what we can do for you. Because I mean, think about a dope cinematic headshot that's more landscape than portrait. That's in front of the food truck where they're kind of leaning and they got the food truck in the background in a shallow depth of field, and you lit the food truck and you lit them, or just commercial shots with a founder is just in front of it. You know what I'm saying? Like think about press, like when you're doing a lot of photography, like think about press releases and stuff like that. Let's create content and let's get a press release pushed out talking about the food truck. You'll be surprised where it get picked up and you get free marketing and you can get a press release written and published on Fiverr for $100. And it's something you can charge a client $500, $600, $700, $1,000 for. Hey, let's do a press release for your food truck. Let's take great images. Let's take headshots. Let's write up a story about who you are or the story behind your brand. And let's push it out as a press release and see who picks it up. You'd be surprised at how many local news stations pick up a press release, and it's something that you can charge $2,000-$3,000 to do. And it can have a combination of your video skills, your photography skills, your headshot skills, and it's just a product that you can offer to food trucks to kind of get out there. So it's not a bad thing to have. You always want to have examples of it whenever you get a client that want to go in that route, regardless of whatever your niche is.
Okay. Thank
Go
you.
ahead. No problem, bro. Go ahead, Frozen.
So based on your years of experience, what are some of the common objections you've seen clients have in regards to video?
Most are concerned with its ability to work for them. If you can overcome the objection of showing how this is an investment and not just something they're buying, wishing maybe this will work. And that's why I say use a lot of stats. Use a lot of stats, use a lot of experience. If you have experience, and you can literally go in and say, hey, usually, people start off like this and we work with them and we get them here. It's kind of like, imagine if you had a doctor say, hey, the back pain that you're having, I see it often. Usually it comes from, poor walking habits, and we usually fix that with a great insole to help get the back in the right place, and their pain usually goes away, over time with the help of a little medication, compared to having somebody that's like, this might work for you. I want to tell you that people be feeling better when they do this. I guess we're going to do this for you to see how it, you know what I'm saying? So it's completely different when you have that experience to kind of back up what you're offering and the stats and things like that. When you have that experience, it makes it a whole lot easier when you sell it. And even just having the confidence in your voice when you work with them, like, yo, this is what we're doing. This is what we've been doing. It'll help. It'll help. So it's something you kind of want to lock down or kind of want to build as you go in.
Thank you.
No problem.
So I have a question. So I know, okay, I'm sorry. So a better question. What what would be a contract that you would include in every video or photography production? Aside from, let's say, for example, let's say I was gonna go do headshots. Would it be something else that you would add on as a contract that they have to sign for you to, go out there and shoot headshots aside from the headshot contract?
Non-refundable retainer right now, COVID contract. If you're bringing somebody to film it, like you were doing to film it, get them second shooter agreement. Make sure they're not there poaching clients or doing something stupid. I had a guy I was doing headshots for a dental office, and it was a big dental office. Like they had multiple locations, and they were all meeting up to do it in one place. And this guy winking at dental assistants and stuff. And I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Married and everything, still flirting, like for no reason, bro. Like, just, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, they are beautiful. I agree with you. You're taking pictures. Look at the pictures later. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't mess up your money, because you're thinking with the wrong head, especially when you're wearing my shirt and you represent my brand. Like, chill on that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I had to literally pull somebody to the side. Like, dog, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, and you'd be surprised that you have to cover your butt. Like, companies are always hiring because good talent is hard to find. Like, you will see that it's just difficult sometimes finding people who think first. So it's been times where I had to cut into somebody. So, those for sure. Headshots usually don't, it's usually not a licensing, thing. If you do group shots though, I always license group shots. Because group shots are the ones you see on websites, magazines. You don't really see a regular corporate headshot those places, but group shots, you usually see those in some type of media. So those are usually licensed. Any commercial lifestyle shots are usually licensed. So it's those are the ones I definitely model release. I usually don't use a model release with headshots though. I use a model release for commercial shots. So any lifestyle shots or things like that, I'll use a model release.
Okay. Yeah, just because I know that, you got to use the contracts, but there's also a way to use them correctly,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
just because you don't want to miss anything.
They are usually a part of my proposal. Because once you agree, not only are you agreeing to, I'm telling you what we're going to do. I'm going to show you what it's going to cost. These are the terms and conditions. So sign off on everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to send them. I don't want to have them to look for multiple things and sign multiple things and deal with multiple emails. I want to make it as easy as possible for them to spend their money.
Yeah, that's pretty tough. As far as like with Honeybooks, because Honeybooks, it doesn't let you do that. You have to send separate files. So it's it sucks, but
that is why I took that portion of it to Proposalify. But that's another $20 a month. You know what I'm saying? However, I feel like it's worth it. Yeah, I feel like it's worth it. Created, you 84, bro. You had a question?
No, I actually I just want to actually how do you say? Oh, just recommend that contract pack, because it's like I actually just copped that because I'm at the I mean, maybe like about a month ago, I was going raw. I was going raw, and I was trying to get this this beta testers and stuff like that, and my content out there now being probably sold in the black market somewhere in Middle Eastern. I don't know for what. Put in some dub voice.
Remember, the rule of the day is going raw always feels good, but it's not always the best thing to do.
So
that's a life lesson. It feels great when you're doing it, but at the end of the day, you be sitting there like, dang, should I?
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
Over here acting like an old dirty bastard. I like it, bro.
Yeah. It feels wonderful, but you risking it all just for some, you be like, was that worth it? At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, so like, I mean, if you guys been, for the people that have been on here on the group, you guys, I don't know if you guys still remember, like I put my little side hustle selling my tacos for my crib, and then from that, obviously making what I'm making my profit from that, I am using it to invest into this, and I was able to come up and to afford, well, not afford, but to invest on the ultimate pack. And I don't know if anybody of you guys have had it or purchased it, but that it's like legit. Like I actually, like, I know, here we preach that we stick to our niche and stuff like that, but I actually got a few customers through Thumbtack, and I had the contracts, and I kind of fill them out. Like, they're pretty easy to fill. Fill them out, copy paste. Like, I already have like my own template already, where I have the video production slash video editing service agreement, and then I have my logo underneath. Like, everything is like super easy once you have it, and and the way you made it, it's really nice, and to provide the information for the clients, or even for myself, that to fill it out. And that contract, I have to say, that contract, I don't know if you remember on Tuesday that I asked you that question of the client wanted some raw files. What is a good way for me to tell them, like, hey, like, we offer it, but you're gonna have to pay. But because of that, in that contract, he didn't go into it. He's like, oh, can you provide me with the raw files? And he was kind of hesitant, like, oh, well, we need and I mean, it's only the raw files and this and that. And when you told me, well, you know what, it takes me to convert it and stuff like that, I pretty much gave him that excuse, like, hey, you know what, like, I appreciate that you want to get your raw files, but it does take me, I said, with all, in that email, I said, with all due respect, it does take me some time to convert your raw files into something that you'll be able to play in your whatever device that you're going to play, because the raw files, I need to convert it, and that takes some of my time, and it's I mean, it was 20 gigs. Like, I recorded a presentation on a theater that they were gonna present to their investors, and this is a multi-million. Like, I'm fucking like, how the hell did I get this contract from Thumbtack? It's a multi-million-dollar
got a bunch
company.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a multi-million-dollar company that is based here off in Boulder, and it's called buyers.com. Like, you guys can look it up, buyer.com. And I shot their keynote, and basically I edited the keynote along with their the PowerPoint presentation. I mixed it all up and I gave it back to them. Well, they wanted the raw files back again, right? So long story short, I was like, well, you know what? If you would have told me that you wanted these raw files, I could have coded that on the contract and gave you an invoice with that, and then you would agree or not agree, and then we wouldn't have the discussion. So because I pretty much told him that he was not on the contract and it's another rate, he was like, okay, well, I guess we'll pay for that.
Yeah, because a lot of them felt like, oh, you shot it, just, I'm gonna ask for it, you're just gonna throw it on. Like,
yeah, nah, man, they were trying
like it's extra ketchup in a bag. But you gotta, that's what contracts will help you. Contracts will help you kind of keep that in stone and keep that, when you move forward with a client. You don't want to, that's why I don't do handshake deals. That's why I don't do none of that, because there is no foundation. Like, there is no stipulations. There is no expectations with the handshake deal. They want it all for little. So you want to kind of be careful of that. Definitely be careful of that.
Yeah. So I mean, the contract, like, I'm going through. I'm actually downloading the templates. They're really nice and well done, and I appreciate that. As far as, like, I want to talk a little bit as far as, like, the topic. The topic that we're talking about today, because I just literally I just left from my beta tester. We went over as far as their video, and he knows I speak Spanish, and that is something that we were actually discussing. Like, what do you think as far as, because he lives in a predominantly Hispanic community. And so we were actually just talking about it. Like, it's crazy how, like, everything is playing out, because, like, I did the video and we went over. He looked at it and he loved it. Just my sound was not as of good quality. So actually, I just ordered a microphone with the lavalier, I think it's called, mic, so we can just get the voice. So, but today he was like, well, what if we just record the sound? We went into his truck, and he was so cool about it that we were like, well, we're just gonna record it. Because I have a little boom mic on my camera, and I mean, guys, like, the customers don't, as long as you I'm over here shooting multi-million-dollar companies, believe it or not, with the G7. A G7, guys.
Well, they do not care about the camera. They just
A
care
G7.
about the
If you guys know, like, what the hell is a G7 now? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you only, like, the best quality, it's 180p. Well, it shoots at 4K for a long time, but, like, it shoots. I shoot everything 180p at 60 frames per second, just in case I need to use that slow motion. But that's my equipment, man. And I have the Godox, my Godox light, just in case I need it. The SLB, I have the battery power one.
Yes.
And that's how I'm rolling, man. That's how I'm rolling. But, like, just the things that I'm kind of bringing out, they're liking the product, and they really don't care. Like, what are you using? I mean, the G7, it's a little tiny camera, man. A little tiny camera. But I'm getting the job done.
I get a lot of I got a lot of high-end clients off Thumbtack. I got Walmart off Thumbtack, and people are like, wow, because they don't know where to look. They don't know where to look to find it. Real quick, I gotta check in on Michael. He's been real quiet down there in that corner ever since he got the corner box. I gotta see
Yes,
what's up.
update, Michael, update.
Yes, we're waiting on that, Michael. We gotta definitely do that update. And we're gonna see if he posts. I ain't got the notification. I got,
Yeah. Don't worry. I have a photo shoot coming up next week. So
okay, that's what I'm looking for.
Bang, boom, pow. Awesome.
Your Tuesday's live like your straight. If you want to be a cinematographer, a content creator,
Mhm.
that really hit me hard.
It was a throw punch.
It was, and my thing was, am I just a creative that loves the craft, that loves the process? Because that's what I want to learn about, because I don't have experience with that. And then when you said there's no, negatives on each side, or let me rephrase that. There are no. If I want to go one way, it's okay, and if I go the other way, it's okay too. But it's up to me, and it got me really thinking. Like, do I really want to step up as an entrepreneur or be a freelancer? That's what I was thinking in my head for the past 2 days, because my last week's discussion really hit hard this week, because do I really want to learn the process of becoming a business owner? And with that, I have to become a content creator.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
You got kids?
I don't.
Okay. You got a family, right? You got a wife and you got responsibilities, right?
Yes, I do.
So are you it's really a matter of how much money do you want to make? Money and responsibility.
I know money gives me options, and that's what I want. Because right now, these hands, I'm working in a mechanical job, and they're like today, they're really hurting, like carpal tunnel. And one of the hazards of my job is a lot of people get carpal tunnel, get surgery. And I don't want to go that route. I really do not want to go that route. And that's what's eager me to do this. But at the same time, I don't feel confident in myself to build this up right now.
Perfect.
That's how I feel right now.
Let me tell you why that's perfect. Because you are in the right place to learn that. See, I'm gonna tell you, when I've worked with people who've been in your situation, let me tell you what they have to realize mentally is this is gonna make a whole lot more money than this, right? This can make way more money than this, but they're used to working with their hands. They're used to working with their hands. They're used to something tangible. They're used to touching it, to see progress, to feel progress, to move ahead. They used to feeling their way, up the ladder. But with this, it's a thinking game. You just got to think your way up the ladder. You going from checkers to chess. Business is not hard, right? The only hard part about business is deprogramming the buyer mentality, the consumer mentality that you've been bred to be. That's it. Business is not hard. It's gonna be easier for you to run your business than it is for you to go and properly expose a dope image with a crazy background with the right model.
To go along with that,
Mhm.
what you always said, I want to work on the business, not in my business. And the past 6 months, I've been working in the business.
And that's fine.
Well,
that's fine for now.
But that's the point. I don't have nothing. That's why I'm working in the business. I still don't have a demo reel. I'm still trying to get that going. I just, last week I just found out I really had to really scrub my website. And I was like, it's not my niche. You said you want 2 layers down. Oh my gosh. I was like,
I was there
top
too.
layer.
I was there.
Yeah. It just gave me a really, what's the word I'm looking for? Realization, or eye-opening moment, like what happened last week, and then your live stream 2 days ago.
But that's good though. Every place that you're saying you at, I've been there. Every place that you're saying you at, I've been there. I was exactly where you were. I was exactly where you were, with kids and a wife who didn't believe in what I did, who was treated it like a little side hustle. Okay, we get a little money in that, but go back to work. Get a little change on that, but go back to work. We got mouths to feed. I've been there and done it. So don't ever feel bad. You don't got kids either? Oh, you about to really win. You can just worry about you and your partner. That's it. Shoot, I wish I was given that opportunity. I had a kid at 21. By the time I realized what the world was, I had a mouth to feed. So it was either go do work like regular people and go get a job, or chase my dreams and find a way to feed her and take her with me. So you have an opportunity that I didn't even get. Right now, it's just a matter on how you execute it. It's just a matter of how you, look at, evaluate where you are and keep building on it. You got to keep building on it. You won't see it. You're going to add a bunch of little pieces and you're going to look back like, dog, I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe I'm making this per shoot. I can't believe I'm making this per month. I can't believe I'm living like this. You know what I'm saying? I was exactly where you at. Pitch wasn't working. The difference is I had nobody to be like, okay, fix this, do that, figure this out. It was just bump my head, fix it, bump my head, fix it, bump my head, fix it. Okay, this didn't work. Okay, that didn't work. I'm talking about down to choosing the color of the font on my page. Like I was changing everything and just looking at it, just measuring like, okay, I got 6 more people than I got last week. What did I do? Okay, this is what I did. Let's stick with that. Okay, let's move on. You know what I'm saying? And it was just about building it and growing it. And I got to the point where I started to see patterns in what was working. And I just started adding to that. It's just like a Lego. You're going to find a piece that fit, that don't fit, that fit. Okay, cool. Let's add the next piece. I don't want you to think that I just rolled out and stuff started clicking for me. That is the complete lie. I crashed hard. I slept on couches. I had title loans. I had credit cards that was maxed. I had bankruptcies. I had all of that. Don't ever think that I walked out and it worked. It works now, but I don't ever want to sell a story of, it was just smooth selling because I fought to get here. I fought. I'm talking about bloody knees and elbows. I pawned this and sold that and I worked for it. I hit my doggone, I got a title loan on my work van at the time, jumping out doing this. And it was, not understanding why business was doing it. I hid it for 6 months trying to pay these folks back. I got footage of the repo truck pulling up and I'm jumping in the truck trying to run. No lie. Until I got it to work, until I started noticing, until these big jumps started getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and it just started doing that and doing that. It's going to do this until you will it in. And I'm spending money for mentors who wasn't really in my field, because there was nobody that was really in my field that were trying to guide me and do the best that they can do, but they didn't have the experience. They never did exactly what I'm doing. They can only tell me a little bit. So I'm piecing stuff. I'm paying a advisor over here, a mentor over here. I'm trying to invest in it. You know what I'm saying? Bum it in a mug and no cable. You know what I'm saying? Watching the same. My kid grew up on the same Wiz DVD we played every night. They was watching the Wiz. That's all we had. We had 8 DVDs, no cable. I remember having an apartment with no furniture in it. 0. We sitting on the floor for months trying to figure this thing out. So don't ever feel like I do not want you to think that I just woke up and it was just like, yo, it was not.
Okay, it was not. Well, I'll agree with you on that. I told myself that it's gonna be a grind. My problem is what your master course is. I feel like your master course is like a roadmap to, okay, there's a starting place. And right now, I feel, like I said, I thought I was going one way, and you guys just like,
No. I mean, the thing is, and that's good though.
About it, but
I would rather you be straight up told that everything that you're doing in this direction is completely wrong than for me to BS you and be like, it's okay. We're gonna just, smoothly transition in it. No, tell me I'm wasting money now. Like,
and that's what I felt. I right now, shucks. I roughly spent about. This is nothing to you guys, but it's like I already spent $10,000 of my own money.
On what, gear, marketing? Where do you go?
Script writing, gear, trying to get what I thought was a good website. I put some apparel gone through, and copyright. I mean, there was some stuff in there.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Because the most important tool, how much did you spend on courses? How much you spend on advisors and mentors? Like that's where that should be the top of your. I don't like to use the word pyramid, but that should be the point of your spear.
Okay, so that I'll agree. I was like, if our percentage wise, 25%.
Because the thing is this, we think that just because we spend money, we're gonna get it. If you go on a stock website right now, you can blow $1 million on stocks and not know what they do for you. Or you can go and out of that $1 million, spend $250,000 on an advisor that will help you put that other $750,000 in places where it grows. Knowledge is the most important part of this puzzle. And it was something that I overlooked. I wasn't about to read no book. I wasn't about to pay somebody to tell me. But then I'm gonna be honest with you. I dated a girl who had a consultant business that was doing like $900,000 a year, right? And she told me that she spent $100,000 on a mentor. I was like, what? What? $100,000 on a mentor? That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. You are an idiot. And that mentor took her from making $40,000 a year to $900,000 a year every year. Just having the knowledge. Money by itself won't do you no good, or everybody will be rich. It's the knowledge. There's people that make. I mean, look at all the athletes that make millions that go broke because they don't have the knowledge. They just had the money. You know what I'm saying? I spend money on a bunch of dumb stuff too. I spend money on a bunch of gear and a bunch of marketing and a bunch of Google ads and a bunch of stupid stuff. Website redesign 8 times, 3 different logos, just stupid stuff. I used to have doggone all kind of clothes, and it wasn't in the right direction until I started investing in this. That was the most invaluable investment I made. I started reading more books. I started getting a different mindset because I was just spreading money around. This is the thing that consumers, we tend to, the human mind thinks it knows everything, right? Until it finds out it don't. Right now, you're not worried about the temperature in Japan because you think you know it. It doesn't eat at you. It doesn't bother you. You're like, whatever. It's probably whatever. It's probably 55. Who cares? The human mind tends to think it knows everything, right? But you have to feed it. You have to still worry about what it's going to take to build that brand. You got to still, you know what I'm saying? I know you can eat, like I said, you can eat an apple pie every day of your life, and you can't tell me what that temperature is on to bake that apple pie. You just can't tell me. Like, you can be an apple pie expert as far as eating them and tasting the difference and knowing, but you can't tell me how many bowls of, how many cups of flour is in that crust. You have to learn how to build it. And if you don't learn how to build it from people who build these pies, who make these pies, you're just another person tasting them, right? You're just another person tasting them. So you got to go behind the curtain, and you have to learn how to build it. You can't just assume you know how because you see what the apple pie looks like. You just don't know. Your mind tells you know, and a lot of people get in the business think, oh, you just buy low and sell high. If I can get these for $5 and sell them for $8, I'm good. It don't work like that. Like, there's so much more to business, and often people underestimate the value of learning business, thinking they can just jump out here and do it. It's easy. You know, if it costs me $1, I'll sell it for $2. It don't work like that. There's so much more to it. So that's why I push just learning more about the business side and understanding, you know, different. Like, I didn't know nothing about showing value. I just thought I can do it cheaper than you. That's it. That's how I was gonna beat you. I never thought that what I should be is charging more than you because I offer a better product, and I got better ways of showing value. And you will see a lot of homemade homeboys that go into business have no idea how to show value. They just want to make it. They just want to do it and make it cheaper. So, trust me. Invest in this. That should be 3-to-1. In fact, I got a video coming out that talks about that, that I'm working on, that talks about if you look back over every penny you spent in photography, videography, right? If this ain't 3-to-1, 3-to-1, 3-to-1 over gear and everything, I got bad news for you. You know what I'm saying? Josh, go for it, bro. I can't hear you.
Am I good now?
Yeah, you good.
Okay, I can never tell. But So like about like investing in your mind, like learning about the business. I've been doing my business now full time for 2 years now, but I haven't graduated college, and like I kind of like wrestle back and forth, like whether or not I should go, like at least like get like a business degree. So like, what do you like? What are your feelings and like thoughts about like college and?
Oh, okay. I'll tell you that.
As far
That's
as what
easy.
we do,
College is a waste of money for what we do.
and that's I'll be trying to tell my wife.
It's a complete waste of money for what we do.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to get a general business degree to have it, I'm not knocking it, but it's a complete waste of money. Everything you can learn in college, you can learn in a book, especially if you own a business. College is great for, listen, when you go to college, all they do is read a book to you. You're paying thousands of dollars for them to make you buy a $300 book to read it to you, and then you take a test on. That's literally what college is.
Yeah.
You can go out here and say, hey, let me shoot this for you for free. And that's your experience. Your beta testing is hands-on experience in today's industry, learning from today's situations and scenarios instead of a book that was written 4 years ago and gathered 4 years before that. And you know what I'm saying? Like, there is no better experience than hands-on experience. There is nothing. A book can't tell you how to get out here and do it. Getting out here and doing it can tell you how to get out here and do it. So everything that you can learn in college, you can learn in the book. Why? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Who would I trust more? A professor that haven't been in the field in 20 years because he's been a professor, or a client that's actually surviving off their business, trying to help you create content that actually helps them? That's frontline experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't beat that. This industry changes so much. There's, just 6 months ago, advertising on TikTok wasn't a thing. Just 6 months ago.
Yeah.
TikTok marketing ain't gonna get to a college book until 2028. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not gonna get there. Like, the idea of YouTube starting to do a lot of 5-second commercials. You've probably seen them. You can't even skip them. They 5 seconds. Hey, State Farm, just want to remind you to blah, blah, blah. You're not learning that in the book yet. You won't learn that in the book until 2030. But you see it. You can learn about it. You can understand it. You can implement it. You can start to offer it. I'm not gonna go sit in a class and pay $100,000 for somebody to teach me that.
Yeah, that's how I feel. And obviously not with every like career choice, but like with ours, I feel like this is I'm learning more doing this than I would in a college class. So
it's just not fast enough for the market that we're in. It's just not fast enough. It just doesn't move fast enough. Marketing is extremely fast, and school. The people who work for you can have a degree if that's what you want. But the business owners don't have. All the top guys who quit college and started something, all of the Bill Gates and those guys don't have degrees. People who work for them do. Go ahead, GMO.
So, so how would you go about creating outsourced content for your brand? Would you make them sign an NDA, not an NDA, I'm sorry, second shooter and call it your work, or would you just let them do it as their own thing?
Okay,
If that
so
makes sense.
anytime you bring on a person, usually when you hire them through Fiverr has the terms and conditions to stipulate that they're being hired to create something under your brand. I bring people on as a contractor. So second shooter agreement, as a contractor, whatever you create while under my contract is the property of the company. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did a bunch of stuff for TGI Fridays when I worked there. I can't go steal that stuff and put it wherever because it's their property, not without their permission. But that contract kind of stipulates that whatever you create while under this contract is the property of your company. I'm gonna tell you a company that I used to have a crazy one. I used to work for Radio Shack back in the day, right? And I remember reading through, they give you a thick pamphlet. Nobody really read it, but I read through it and determined that if you invented anything while working for Radio Shack or within 60 days of terminating employment with Radio Shack, they owned it. Because Radio Shack knew that they were getting a lot of brainiacs, a lot of smart guys, a lot of, I guess you could say, nerds or whatever, that wanted to work with resistors and transistors and whatever. And if you, and a lot of people wanted to work there because they had access to it. They got discounts on it. They're around it. So if you invented anything during that time they can come after it and take it. Crazy, but that you know, that was their practice. Go ahead, create it.
So I have a question. What if the beta tester, it's like it's excited to just stop becoming a beta tester and take you to and pretty much hire you upon?
Then you've
Like
done
what
your
do you do there? Because I know you've been talking about like we keep our beta testers on the free level, so we can keep asking them questions and then grow our experience, so we can then take our real customers and then offer or ask whatever our beta testers recommend us to do or stuff like that. Like what if they still insist, like because I'm going through that right now.
That's okay. So let me tell you, that's a good thing for two. Let me tell you, it's two-edged sword. That's a good thing because that means you're showing enough value in the testing stage where the beta tester want to move out of beta. That's always a good thing. Keep one product in beta. So hey, we're doing a promo video. Let us just work on that. I'll charge you for the rest, and we'll do the rest for you. But as far as the promo video, I still need direct feedback. I still need access to analytics. I still need to see how this performs for you. We can do all the other videos, training videos, whatever else you want to do. We can charge you and do that as normal. But remember, when you get with the beta tester, it's not just to get footage for everything. I'm working on a specific product for you. Now, I want to make sure that this promo video does what I need it to do for you. We can still shoot your headshots. I'll charge you for that. I'll charge you for this. I'll charge you for that. But this right here is still in beta.
Okay, so let me see if I understand. So now that I have this, let's just say how I'm gonna express it. Like I got it in the bag. It's inside. Like I got it already. So what I offered to him, like was basically like, hey, at the end it was like, what do you need? At the end it was like, what do you need? So like, we need a grand opening video of our restaurant. And we're like, all right, bet. So I came up with an idea. We shot the video. And then now, he's all like, he's pretty much saying, I'm ready to move on to once we got this, we're gonna promote it. Like I'm actually doing editing right now because I want to, he would like to have it by the weekend so he can promote it. But he was kind of like, I don't want to put no pressure on you since this is for free, but I do want to continue and do other things. So my understanding is basically with this, if I understand you correctly, with this customer, a product will be one type of video that I can then create for him, a charge that I can then advertise or offer to other restaurants.
Correct.
As an item. So for example, I did the grand opening. Obviously, I can only use that data that he gets from this video as in like, hey, you know what? I'll be driving around. Let's say I'll drive around and I see a grand opening sign of another restaurant or a taco truck, and that's what I'm also doing. And I'll be like, hey, do you guys have a grand opening video? Because if based on this data that I did with this customer, such, right?
Yep. That's correct. So that would be your grand opening package. Yep. That you can present to different clients that are looking to open new locations or do re-grand openings, or I would kind of push it towards major sales, right? We want to push a big sale. This is a promo video to bring in clients for the purpose of sales or promotion. It's a promo video. I wouldn't even tie it to a grand opening. It's just a promo video.
A promo video. Okay.
Yeah.
All
so
right,
our goal is to introduce your brand to new clients.
Okay, because basically that's what I pitched them as far as like the detail, because like I explained to him a little bit of what I'm doing with my tacos, and I'm gonna have to say, like, I don't want to like he, based on the explanations that I gave him and to me it's basic information. I don't know if it's like exclusive information, but it's something that I noticed that helped me on my little tacos selling for my crib. I gave him that information, he pays like a marketing company like that. It's within the building that he has his restaurant. They outsource that job somewhere, and then to basically not go into too many details. He asked them a question that I kind of told him, like, hey, are you like targeting the neighborhood within a 2-mile radius? He asked them that question. The marketing team said, no, we're like promoting your thing like somewhere like out of state. And he fired that marketing team.
That's perfect. Because you know what?
Yeah.
Remember how I said you'll have moments where they're like, I never thought about that. When you get a client to say, you know what, I never thought about that. That is there. You got them. You got them.
Yeah.
You got them.
I know.
That's those are things that now when you give him the idea to shoot this type of video, he's going to do it. He trusts you. You know what you're talking about. That's why it's important to work with a niche and build that expertise, so you can go to him and say, hey, this is what you should be doing. If you're doing this, it may not be right. We need to focus on this area. Those are little things that as you get to customer 3, 4, and 5, you'll be you'll have so much knowledge, and you'll be able to walk in with that expertise compared to the guy that's next to you that's like, we could film it and that's it. We're bringing a little bit more to the table than that. That's why we're expensive.
Yes,
we're
sir.
bringing a little bit more to the table to that, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, and that kind of like took me by surprise when I did because we had a meeting today, and we were going through everything, and I just kind of asked him. I was like, so do you have a plan as far as like how you kind of market and distribute it? And he said, yeah, like I hired a new whole team, but like because the other guys they were outsourcing it and they didn't even know. And I'm like, well, now you understand why? Because I literally, guys, I went through every single person that liked his video, and I went into their profile, and they're from out of state.
Yep.
So I was like, you're getting likes from people that are out of state. Like, when are they gonna ever come? We need to focus on people that are within the area, get to know them, build a relationship with the community, and that's how we'll get customers. And then he kind of was like, well, now I understand why these likes came, because these guys were marketing somewhere else.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well,
because some of them companies, they can run scams to just get you 1 million likes, but 1 million likes don't matter. I'd rather get 1,000 likes in my neighborhood than 1 million likes all over the world. But that is a situation where working with that client and bringing that to his attention you become the subject matter expert. If you go to a doctor and you're hurting and he can alleviate that pain, you're going to come back to him every single time. You're going to buy everything you can with him. You're going to trust him. Whatever he say do, you're going to do it. So that's why it's important. That's why I tell you a lot of times, this right here is the most important tool in your tool bag. It ain't got nothing to do with your camera. It's just how you approach it and having the expertise, working with in that niche. Because if you were doing painters and you were doing this, that, and the other, it's hard to go in with that specific, detail and say, hey, this is something we need to tweak. Having that niche and having that expertise in that niche will help you be more of a subject matter expert. And that's what makes you reassuringly expensive. So the money he was spending on that whole team just opened up for videos he want to do with you now.
I hope, and then may God hear your voice. May God hear your voice. But back to the niche. Guys, that is something that today with this meeting that I had with Steven, it was something that really hit me, because that niche, it's so important. Reason why I say is because I'm basically down to the food industry, which is restaurants and taco trucks. And a lot of taco trucks, they do have restaurants, physical restaurants, but others they go and they do whatever they post up at a bar. Here in Denver, they post up at breweries outside. They post up at breweries, or they do corporate events. So I'm really focused. That's pretty much my niche. There, the taco trucks, and if they have brick and mortar restaurant, then we're gonna compile all that together. Well, I'm gonna compile all that together. But when we were in there, he's so like, hey, I love. He told me, I love the footage of the food, but can I just, because he told me like, I'm gonna buy you lunch today. So here he gave me like a free food plate, a free plate, plate to take home, because I guess he was happy, so he hooked me up with some of his food, and he's like, I'm gonna make it, and I want this one to be on the video because I'm gonna make it like look a lot more colorful, a little bit more presentable. And I'm like, all right, bet. So we did it, and as we were like, I love to cook, and then I know recipes. And as we were in his kitchen, we were literally chopping it. Like we were not talking about video, we were chopping it up about food, recipes, seasonings, and things that I love and like he loves. And it was just like, what the fuck? Like that's so dope. Like
see,
it's so dope because I was like, I'm
realized
not
you
even
knew what you
thinking
were.
about this video. Like
He
I had my
realized you knew what you
gimbal.
were talking about. He
Yeah,
realized he can relate to you. He realized this guy knows his stuff, and you
yes,
know what you're talking about. I would also go after catering companies
okay.
and corporate event planners because they hire a lot of catering companies. They hire a lot of food companies. So I would go after food trucks, restaurants, cater. If you go in food industry, catering companies. And right now, one thing that's really, really big that you may want to look after or go after is meal prep companies. Meal prep companies are big. I know GMO, you said you had a question a little bit earlier, GMO?
Oh no, I was just my bad. I was just saying like yeah to meal prep companies. I was just
Yeah.
making a gesture. But so yeah, I had a question on the Vonage. You know, I know you talked about it like a while ago. So I went to go get the services, but it said $20, and then next thing you know, it jumped up to like 44.
Okay.
Like when I went through the whole thing, so I was kind of confused. So you know, I wanted to ask you about that to see how I could go about that because you know
So I have Vonage Business. Make sure it's the business account, business line, and not regular Vonage. Make sure it's Vonage Business. I'm gonna tell you a little secret. If you call them up, get it for a month, and call them up and be like, "I found something cheaper," they will lower that price all the way down.
Really?
They because it's pure profit for them. So they'll go down to $15, $20. So that's just something you can put in your back pocket. You ain't get that from me.
Little Jewel.
Little Jewel. Go ahead, Frozen.
Yeah, I have Vonage Business as well, and they jacked the price on me. They charged me like $40, $50. So I had to hop on the phone with them. When I hop on the phone with them, they dropped it back down to 20.
Oh, you see, he tell you, yeah, they dropped it down to 20. They'll do it real quick. Yeah.
So what do they do then?
They sneaky, bro.
You just got to tell them you're going to go somewhere else. They'll match every price.
So would you just pay the 44, take the hit, and then just?
I told them, I called them. I don't know where all this money's coming from. So I said, "Can you take it off?" So they said we can't take it off, but we're going. So I think I paid like 15. So since they couldn't take it off, they gave me like an extra discount for the future. You know what I mean?
Yep.
For every month.
Yep. They drop it to like 15 before taxes and all the fees, and they come up to being like 20, something like that.
Well, they'll do like a lot of companies because
like a retention.
I don't work for a company that does that now, but yeah, it's a retention department. They call it a retention account services, cancellation department, or whatever. So they'll typically have programs in place or different rates to maintain you as a customer. Bottom line. So they'd rather keep you at a cheaper rate than lose you completely. This is a lot harder. It's more expensive to gain a new customer than it is to keep an old one. That's the bottom line. So, and that's pretty much almost for any company. I mean, whether it's your self-service, something like Vonage or whatever, you know, if you're looking to kind of like save a few bucks, give them a call, let them know, just like Ty said, you know what, I found something cheaper. I won't cancel. Yep. Well, you know what, Mr. Turner, can you hold on for me for a second, please? Let me just get you over to my account service specialist, and I'll have them see what they can do to review your account, and we'll do the best we can to honor and earn your business back. Be right back.
But what if you never pay for it though? Like as far as like, because the initial payment would be a $44 payment. So you know, do you just have to take the hit and then call them, or do you?
I'm not sure you can do it before the first payment. You can try it. You can be like, hey, I want to go with you guys, but I found something cheaper. Is that the best you can do? I had a different service, and then I switched over to Vonage, and it was a little more expensive. And then I found another service. I forgot what it was. Some no-name company that I was going to go to. And I called them up like, yo, I want to cancel this because I found this. And they was like, whoa, hold up. We're going to give it to you for this price. And it was cheaper than the other place. I was like, bet.
And they're easy to talk to. As soon as you mention price, they say, okay, boom, okay. Can this work for you? Like they really try to work with you. So it's not,
So, last question. I'm sorry. So I know the Vonage one. There's a black one, a black and white one, and then there's a orange and blue and white one that says Vonage Business. So they're both kind of similar. So
they're the same company. They're in the middle of a brand. They're rebranding.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
But
because now the app is black and white. The Vonage Business app is now black and white.
yeah,
It's the same because they went from that orange and blue. They're the same company.
Yeah.
They're just in the middle of rebranding.
Okay.
They're gonna be messed up if I call and they just be like, "All right."
Hang up and call back. Get another person. They're gonna be like, "Peace, bro. I don't care about your $20."
Notice, like, dude, we done like you haven't paid for like the last 2.5 years, so we ain't giving you any more credit. I mean, you need to pay something.
They'll lower it down because I didn't even ask for it, and they was quick to be like, "Hold up, before you can," because I was calling to port my number. Like I want to port because my number was a cell phone back in the day. Then I had ported it to Google Voice. Then I ported it to Vonage. And I had ported it to another cloud phone or whatever. Then I ported it into Vonage. So I was calling like, I'm calling to port my number out. What do I need? And it was like, hold on, what you porting for? I was like, yeah, y'all hit me over the head. I got this other company that's in some other country. I'm just gonna rock with them. Cause I was gonna go with what was it? Not cloud phone. It was I can't think of them. Remember them little USB boxes you get that you plug into your computer and you plug in the phone line? Magic Box. I was gonna go Magic Box
Jack,
on them. Magic Jack. Yeah, I was gonna go Magic Jack on them because it's cheap. You can port your number in, hook it up to a computer, and call it a day. And they was like, "Nah, we're gonna do this, that, and the other." And I was like, "Cool."
So if I have Google Voice right now, I'm able to call Vonage and just port my same number over to Vonage.
Yeah. Yep. You can port your Google Voice number over to Vonage.
So do I have to call Google first?
What you're gonna do is you're gonna go to Vonage. They're gonna have you fill out something. You're gonna fill that out with your Google Voice information, and then you're gonna get a notification in your email. This is how they used to do it like 2-3 years ago. You can get a notification in your email that your number is being ported, and it's gonna ask you to sign in and verify it. You'll sign in and verify it, and it take like a day.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna do for sure.
Definitely do that. I want to make sure I get with it's like we got about 2 people I haven't even heard their voice yet. I'm gonna give y'all some I haven't even heard your voice. I just want to, see everything good. How business going with you guys? Whichever one y'all want to jump on first, it's just,
All right, I'll talk. Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear. Let me
Can you hear
the
me?
big screen.
Okay. Yeah, I'm getting started. Kind of the same place as Michael. Just going through the motions. I started doing second shooting for weddings, so that's getting me a little bit of more, which I can. So, yeah, I mean, that's really where I'm at right now. But I did have one question.
Okay.
So,
That's
the photo booth.
That's a good place to be.
That earlier.
Mm-hmm.
The price that you said, was that for just corporate or was that also like events? Because I know you used to do weddings. The $250?
$250 an hour, yeah. I would do a minimum 2 hours. So first block is $500 plus $250 for each additional hour.
All right, I'm gonna have to get.
So average wedding is an extra $1,000. Definitely. And photo booths are easy money. You'll be so bored, everybody partying and drinking and falling, and you'd be like, what's the score of the game? Like, oh, okay. Yeah. Like, all right. You know what I'm saying? So it's just easy money. It's something, it gets to the point where, I don't know. I don't say I was tired of it. I'm sitting at a party all day. Everybody else having fun. I'm making sure people don't run off with props. I got to go through the crowd and check somebody over a fake gold chain. Like, bro, run my chain, bro. You can't wear this around the party, bro. Run that. Take that off. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. You didn't forget this big ass chain hanging around your neck. You trying to go stunt. Give me that. Give me my mask back. Like, I literally have to do that. Or like props. I had some expensive props. You don't get the cheap paper ones. I had some thick, expensive props. And people will run around and taking pictures with them. Hey, bring that back over here and put it on this table, Chief. But we have a problem. So, it's just, it is what it is. But we got Stingray, Ariel's in the building. Haven't heard your voice yet, so I'm gonna give you an opportunity to jump on this thing and represent.
What is good, guys?
I like
This
this
is
guy.
crazy.
Let me give you the big screen
Yo,
real
what's
quick.
good? What's
There we
good?
go.
There we go. Get you some time to
Oh.
shine real quick.
Heck yeah.
So,
Dude, I just gotta say, I get like 1,000 emails a day from like all the crap I signed up for of like these guys trying to tell you how to run a production company. And dude, I've been listening to your like podcasts and YouTube streams and all that stuff for like months now. And I tell my wife every day, I'm like, Ty, got something new. I gotta hop on. But seriously, man, honestly, for the couple months that I've been listening, everything that you've said, I've tried to implement, demo real website, you know, the way talking to people. It's worked so much, dude. It's incredible. So I was like, it's about time I do my tax, get on this gold member and see what it's all about. And I was like, I hopped on and we were at a family's house and we just got home. And I was like, oh my God, I can actually get on the stream. I didn't know I could get on the stream. I saw the link and I was like, holy crap, I can actually talk to these guys. So I don't want to take up too much time, but I do mostly drone production, but I'm starting more and more video production. So I honestly, I'm still trying to find my niche. I do full-time video and drone production right now. I do it for a roofing company, right?
Mhm.
That's where it goes in to try and find my niche. I do it for a roofing company. There's a winery that I do work for. There's an event. But trying to find what I'm like most passionate about and what is the best, because what really got me when I started listening to you was how you said that it's about solutions and value. Is there's so many of these guys, like you say, with red cameras or whatever they're trying to stunt their camera gear, and it's not about the solution. You know, going to someone and being like, "What problem do you have?" and convincing them that you actually care is the coolest thing in the world. So implementing that with the people I've worked with recently has been absolutely insane, the reaction I get from them. So that's just worked like a charm. Now it's just at the point where I'm trying to find what's going to be my most, you know, what I want to target the most, because, you know, I want to build the best trap for one specific fish, not just go out and try and get everyone.
Perfect, man. I love to hear that, man. Those are the stories I love to hear. Because let me tell you, I say it a lot, but this circle is small. It's a small circle. My family don't want to hear about this crap all day. Like,
Dude,
I look forward to these Thursdays where I can talk to y'all because my family like, all right, guy, like, you know what I'm saying? That's why community is important. Y'all think I'll be helping y'all. Y'all be helping me. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you just need somebody to talk to. Sometimes you need to just get this stuff off your chest. You know, sometimes sometimes you notice how much you've grown by watching people grow through their process. You know what I'm saying? I talked to Michael and I was there, bro. Oh man, was I sitting where you at right now? With kids in the background running and tripping and screaming and sit your now while I figure this out. I'm trying to type up this website, bro. I've been there, bro. So and I'm gonna tell you, I there's things that I look forward to. I look forward to seeing y'all grow and be like, man, just like you said, I tried this, it worked, I did that. I love that, bro. That makes my
I
day.
literally tell my wife, I'm like, I owe so much to Ty. This guy, I feel like I'm like, he's a friend of mine. Every day when I'm working and driving around, I put on content and cash every day.
That's what's up.
I laugh. I'm like, gosh, I want to just meet this guy. But seriously, I appreciate it, dude. This is crazy for me.
That's what I love about YouTube is you get to meet people that you actually like helping out and talking to, man. That's what makes it great. That's what makes it great. I look for the familiar faces when I get on here every Thursday. I look for the people that, you know, names pop up. Somebody say booty drone photography. That's a whole new niche.
Who said that? Mike? Was that Mike?
That's Eli. That would be absolutely hilarious.
I never thought of that.
Man.
Did you ever see some chicks swatting it? You got to get one with a good zoom lens. That'll be dope.
I never thought of that.
Stop.
No, don't do it.
Stop.
Don't do it.
You don't need to think of it. Stop.
You can probably, there is some type
man.
There is some industry that would love that. I'm sure.
I can't even. Oh, the imagery right now. I can't even.
Oh my goodness, that would be perfect.
Ludacris would have had that in his music video for sure.
Yes, that is something that would be dope. That would be a good niche to go into. I would definitely be down for that, especially if you can. Yeah. Shout out to Austin though, for real. Yeah.
Not gonna talk about that. Let's talk about it.
Late night BET.
That's right. That's right. But the thing, fellas, and I want to make sure I preach and I tell y'all this, man. The most important tool in your bag is up here. That's the most important tool in your bag. I just got some footage back from a client that I work with who recently opened multiple locations, and they're filming in California, and they got, for some reason, the videographer, I don't know if he just was flexing, but he shot half of it on a Red, half of it on the A7 III, and then another half on the drone. And the A7 III footage looked the best. I'm like, bro, why'd you even bring the Red out? Like, just shoot it all like this, so I don't got to color grade it in 10 different, I got to match 10 different cameras. But, he was flexing in LA with the Red, that's probably how he got the job. And I'm just like, bro, like, just shoot it in S-Log too. Like, make it so I don't have a lot to color grade. Go ahead, Mike.
Can you hear me?
I hear you now.
So
you have the big
it's this is going back to what you said. This is right here. This is where my conflict right now is. I have responsibilities, right? And it's E over E. If I'm gonna be spending that, I feel, because of my mindset before, it should be like if I put in it should be invested in. It should be a return in investment, my ROI. Mm-hmm. My question to you is that I should overlook that. Like, if I'm gonna put in X amount of dollars on this, I should think about the ROI, or I should just like, this is gonna self improve me. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. There isn't a measurable instantly. So get away from investing in yourself, getting instant gratification. It's not gonna happen, right? You're gonna read 3 books, and by the time you get to the 3rd book, the first book gonna really start to make sense to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like watching Star Wars. Like, you don't really get an understanding of who Darth Vader is until 3 movies in. Like, you don't know who he is instantly. He's just a weird guy that got breathing problems in a black suit. It is until you get, you know what I'm saying, 3 Star Wars in till you realize, like, this dude is the truth. Like, he's no joke. I'm gonna give you just a crazy example. So I like the Oculus Quest, like the VR, right? And when you get in it, the craziest thing about VR is you get to realize how big these people is in real life, right? Because you in VR, and I was playing Star Wars like this old, and then Darth Vader walked up on me. Dude had to be like 6'5", 6'6". I was like, this dude huge, fam. Like, I see why they busting lightsabers out to take this. This dude is big, and he you're going to hand over. I'm like, dog, like I get it now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that, if you've never played VR, go play VR, because when you play like boxing games on TV, you don't care how big they are, but in VR, dude, huge. Like, what's up? It's about to go down as soon as the referee, and you like, wait a minute, this dude is big. You in the living room swinging your heart out because you get to see how big these dudes. So business is kind of like that. Like, you can't measure you got to just jump in it and learn. And then you look back and be like, wow, you know what I'm saying? I didn't get that, but now I fully understand it. Now I'm gonna give you an example. This is my personal travels, right? As I help many of you grow, I don't realize how far I've come. It takes some of you to tell me. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? That's the importance of community, right? And if somebody told me, like, you need to start a Facebook group, I'm like, why? I'm so used to doing this by myself. But when you're around community and you'll realize where you are in relation to where you started, because you see other people that's there. Man, I was doing that, and now I'm doing this. You get to see the progress, but you can't compare yourself with yourself because you don't see it. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Mike.
Alex has it right, and that's been my mindset. I'm playing the long game, but I'm expecting short-term results.
That's correct.
Because I read that book. Perfect example. I spent X amount of dollars for a copyright to get a good website, and I did. But after a complete evaluation of what I was doing, I was like, did I really make an investment? Because it's like, it was a throw punch. 2 days ago, it was a real throw punch. I was like, man, I feel like I really went the wrong way with my niche.
That's okay. Spending money in the wrong places You won't be the first to do it, and you ain't the last. I remember. Listen, I remember I closed my first big job. All bills were paid, everything. I probably had like $15,000 just to do whatever. Bills paid, whatever. And it took me forever. Like, what? I've never had $15,000 in the bank. What do I do with this money? You know, you go hang out with your regular friends. They doing what Jamel doing in the strip club, or people just like, you invested in what? In stocks. What kind of stock? Like, you know what I'm saying? You get that generic. Get out of here with that. Like, what do I do with this money? How do I go from making 10,000 left over for a client to having 20? Like, where do I put it to guarantee my success? Because I come from a family that never really had money like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, who do I go to? I don't got lawyers and doctors in my family. I don't got people I can go to ask these questions. I got to figure it out. Now, I'm not going to tell you I spent all of the money in the right places, but just learning, you blow money. It just costs money to learn. You know what I'm saying? My job is to make it cost less for you to learn that path to success. Because I blew a lot of money trying to figure stuff out. It's kind of like, look at it like this. As an adult, you probably own car 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? Your 16-year-old brother or son or whatever, if they're buying a car, they just won't realize where to spend the money like you would. They'll go for a shiny car, the motor ticking and knocking, and the tires bald. Like you're on car 7, 8, 9. You know what to look for in a used car or even a new car, right? Y'all both can have the same amount of money, but because of your experience and what you've learned about cars, you know how to make that money stretch compared to somebody who just getting in the game, who will buy the first shiny Camaro without a motor just because they got rims on it. They'll fall for the raggedy car, the car that don't run with the rims on it. And you'll know better because you've been in the game longer. You'll understand what to do with this money. So it's okay. I bought a Caprice on 22s back in the day the motor was knocking and ticking and it's just a little bit of oil spilling. It ain't important. But look at the rims on there. Thinking I got something because of the sound system that was in it. And I went around the block and the motor blew. I came back and the guy, like, he ain't even know me. Like, excuse me, sir, where do I know you from? Like, I just bought the car from you, fam. Yeah. I made it around the block. The motor locked up. He was like, I've never seen you before in my life. You about to catch these hands. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah. So going into that is, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer to Austin, because how passionate he was is how I found you. I was like, hell yeah, it's time to get away from that booty photography. 15 years, I'm ready to go. And I went headstrong, boom. And right now, I hit a brick wall. That's cool. And I'm not saying Austin's going to get that way, but I feel that I went so tunnel vision and I did not look, or I didn't step back of where I was heading. That was the problem I felt like I was doing. Like, it was passionate. It's like, I'm ready to make a change. So I did it.
But let me tell you this. Okay. Let me tell you this. This is one thing you have to realize. I will put on my Jules alert graphic. There's one thing you have to realize if you don't understand nothing from me. And when you go into business, you're going to fail. Learn to climb brick walls. Be the best brick wall climber you can find. That is how you become successful. It's nobody step on the court Nate Jordan. You're going to be trash money until you figure it out, right? The problem is when you hit that brick wall and you stop. Learn how to climb those brick walls. That's when you start to see success. It's not. I don't even trust a person who stepped out and it was smooth sailing. Soon as he get a little turbulence, he bailing like, oh. I'd rather have a person on my team that has failed and failed and failed and failed, and they kept going, and they got failures to show for me. Not a person who stepped into this game and everything worked. My first client on Thumbtack was a $10,000. Nah, you're going to fail. You're going to fail. It's going to suck. You're going to feel like, what am I doing? It's just a part of life. It's a part of being an entrepreneur. But when you figure it out, after all that failing, you'll understand why people own Bentleys and Lamborghinis. It'll make sense to you, right? That's why people own those cars. It ain't because they rich. It's because I can spend $300,000 on a car because I failed 50 times to get here. And this is my trophy. I belong here. And I'm going to tell the world I belong here with my $300,000 car that I failed 80 times to get, that I felt just like you feeling 80 times, and now I'm winning. This is my trophy. That's why luxury exists. Period. Frozen, go for it, bro.
Yeah, so I had a question for Osner. So in regards to Stingray aerials, what were the tips that you got from Ty that when you implemented into your business, you saw almost immediate result?
I'll say there's a bunch of things. One, for sure, the demo reel. Literally, I watched and listened to a couple of the podcasts and the live streams of Ty talking about how important demo reel is. And the next, like, I stayed up that night editing it. The sucky one I had with just cool music, and went on Fiverr and found someone to do a voiceover. I wrote up like a script of what I did and had that. And within a day, I had a demo reel up on on the website I redesigned. So having your website and your demo reel right there for people to see, like Ty has and says all the time. That way, whoever is interested goes straight and sees that. But also, for me, it was talking to people in person. So I'm still kind of on the track where I will go and wineries and venues have been a big niche for me recently. So I'll go on and find local ones, find their emails, research the crap out of them, and then email them and call them and do the due diligence and say, and get to the point where we can actually talk either on Zoom or in person. That was one of the biggest things Ty said, is if you can talk to them in person, because I feel like I'm a lot better in person over the phone, then it's almost sold. And you can show them the value, you can show them things you've done right there. So really the demo reel, the website, and talking to people in person and being super genuine and really telling them that you are there to help, literally to help. You're not there to just, take a dollar. Yeah, you're not selling them anything. You're trying to make them $1 million, not take $1. So really showing value. And dude, I there's like Michael said, I'll feel this way tonight, and tomorrow morning I think I'm a total failure with no money at all. So I'm the same exact way as all you guys. But listening to Ty and doing those few things so far are absolutely game changer. And like the comment talking about, it's about the long game, learning these things now and implementing now. It might not show results until a little while from now, but it's helped. It's crazy.
Perfect. But yeah, that is real important that you mentioned that. I'm here to offer a solution. I'm here to help you. I'm not here to sell nothing to you.
Yeah.
If I can make you money, it'll make me. I know it'll make me money. I'm walking in the door trying to offer.
Yeah, and being upfront about that.
Yep.
Hey, I got a question. So I'm going into a new niche, and I'm trying to figure out. I know I'm actually going to start trying to go after them next week. But how would I go about going after them when I feel like they won't have time, like when I go into the office?
Set up an appointment. If I'm coming in to get, I'm trying to do hoodie game, I'm messing myself up. If I'm coming in to help you out, and I'm not, that's the thing. If I'm coming in to make you money, you're gonna find time to let me make you some money. If I'm positioning and propositioning like that.
So would I set an appointment as a content creator, or just kind of as a potential client, like Dennis?
You could set it as a content creator. You could set it as a business that helps, a business that specializes in helping companies like theirs do A, B, or C. Yeah. The thing is this, and I tell people when it comes to sales, stop selling. Be yourself. Your personality is is the best tool in your bag. Is your personality. Be yourself. If I was boring and bland, you wouldn't trust me. If I was like, go look at my first video. It's got no views. Hey, welcome to Flash Film Academy. We got this here camera. It's pretty nice. I was wearing my regular polo. I was boring in the mud. And the one video, I was pissed. Right? I got off the phone with some friends and I got off the phone with a bunch of photographers who was talking about how they was broke doing this. I cut on the camera and I just vented like, man, look, I'm sick of this. I'm doing that. And that video got 100,000 views. And it was just me, just being me. I had on like something like this. And I was just like, look, dude, This is why you broke. And I just went into it. So be you. That is what people love. More than professional you. More than, you know, we got enough news and TV and people, everybody's perfect and hey, and this is why it's great. And over here, nobody want that. That's why reality show is big right now. Reality TV is the biggest TV right now because people are tired of make-believe land. They want characters they can identify with in real life situations as it happens real time. They want real stuff, right? One of the longest running shows on TV ever was Cops because it was real. You know what I'm saying? Like people want realness. They don't want somebody they can't talk to. So, you know, Jamel, I think you had a question.
Yeah, that's two of them. So to talk to Michael, just to let you know, for me, my life goal is to enjoy the pursuit of happiness. So with that, finding that pursuit of happiness is the journey. With that journey, there's going to be ups and downs. So whenever you have those ups and downs, you should enjoy and understand what's going on with that journey. So whenever you have those problems, you can sit there and smile and say, I could get out of this. So for me, it's more of how can I overcome this obstacle to be more happy, be more happy and successful in my life. Okay, this happened, but days will get better. So for me, I always tell people, always go enjoy the pursuit of happiness. Because once you get that happiness, you get bored of it. You want to find something new. But in that journey, you'll appreciate everything that you had in that journey. And the second thing I wanted to do was ask Austin a question. Sorry, I've been drinking a little bit too,
Yeah, we see what's up. I ain't mad at you.
For Austin, did you get your Part 107 certificate?
Yeah. So I about a year ago now, I got my Part 107. It took forever, and it was actually that test was hard.
The test is hard,
dude. That test is hard. But God, it took so much because there's a place that was doing the test, and they had to reach out to you. You had to fill this thing out. There was no way to contact them. They had to reach out to you. And so for like a month and a half, there was just nothing. So finally I just showed up. I'm like, hey, I want to take my test. I want to start flying and making money. And they're like, oh, okay. They scheduled me. I showed up and they said, oh, no, we didn't schedule for this day. And I was like, what the crap? So I drove like an hour away, found another spot and got the test. But it, it's important though.
Yeah. So, cause I just got mine Wednesday. So I was just curious, like, whenever you got yours, did you have any problems whenever you started doing business, doing like aerial photography or videography?
No, I didn't really have any problems. Honestly, I went out and told more people that I had it than they were asking. So if someone hired me, I would tell them, hey, I have my Part 107. This is like, not like good job for hiring us, but I'm really glad we're licensed, if something happens, we have this. So I really never got asked for it, but it did cover me in case something did happen. And it was a good like selling point, to tell people.
Most companies under a certain dollar amount won't ask you. I didn't get asked for a drone license until I started doing probably $5,000-$6,000 jobs. I mean, because it was certain companies like we were in the running. We were bidding on a job for Six Flags that was local. They wanted you to have not only your license but a certain level of insurance. They wanted you to carry. So those things are just selling points that's real big. But some companies, like if it's somebody doing real estate or you're doing a video for a dentist, they don't even know it exists, so they won't ask you.
Yeah, and a lot of them, I'll tell them about the fine, like how much you can get fined for it, and they'll be like, oh, shit, I hired you, and we'll keep doing so because at that point they know. I think it's like it can be up to like $11,000 per job you do, and so when they come to find that out, they're like, yeah, I'll go with you. They'll be willing to higher price for the good work and not risk an $11,000 fine.
Remember what I told you? If you make a client say, I didn't think about that. You got them. You got them.
Yeah.
And it'd be little times where I get clients that want stuff by airports. I'm like, this is a Class B
Yeah.
airspace, but we can't do it because of this. And they'll be like, wow, I'm glad. If you would have hired somebody else that would have did it, they would have charged you and you would have ate that.
Yeah, like for me today, I was trying to not be in different places because I just learned about all that. So for me, I'm on a base, and then right up the street is a Cape Canaveral. So with that, they shoot rockets and take people to space and all that stuff. So you got the Kennedy airship and stuff, and they was actually shooting a rocket today. So I was just trying to get a shot, and I went through try to make sure I get my LAANC link, whatever you want to call it, make sure it's cleared. And in the area, you didn't have to do that. But, for me being first, I didn't know. So I had called them. And it was like, you don't have to do that. If it's not in a specific area, you're good. So I was able to do my drone shots. But I did have a question about that. As far as the insurance, what's what options should I use? Because I just got back from my LLC from Legal Zoom. Don't ever go through them. I don't know why I did that, but I just got my stuff from Legal Zoom, and I'm just trying to make sure I get all the P's and Q's, covered.
I know for me, and I'll let you jump in this, Austin. There's different companies that I've used for drone insurance, like Global Arrow, they're all right. I've used Skywatch. They're pretty decent as well, but there's different companies that offer different insurance. But it's a lot of companies that are starting to pop up because it's an area, it's a niche that's new. So a lot of companies are popping up. But go ahead, Austin. You can jump in on that if you got some input on.
Oh no, I was just scratching myself. But Skywatch I've used before. There, like Ty said, there's about a bajillion of them.
They're just popping up now.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Geico and all of them ain't jumping in.
Now, is it per shoot, or you have to do like a long term with them?
The ones I've done is long term. It's monthly.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like car insurance.
All right.
Yeah, there was actually there's a racetrack up by here, and they required, I think it was like they have some pretty fancy cars there. I think it was like a $5 million policy, like coverage at least, to go shoot there.
So with that, do you ever have them pay for the coverage? Like pay for that price?
Yeah. I just added into your pricing and package. So like if drone your drone pricing, I just added in whether you pay yearly or whatever.
Because I know our drone insurance was like $2 million policy, and anybody who wanted over that, we would charge them extra. I didn't even know. Another thing, I didn't even know you could fly on army bases, or military bases. I didn't know they was having that.
I didn't know that either.
And especially not if it's an airport on site.
No, I stay away from the. I think you gotta get the TCA.
Yeah, you gotta go through all kind of contact with the flight towers and everything. You gotta go through all kind of stuff to fly in those areas. I don't even. Usually when I have clients that are near airports, I'm like, nope, it's a no go. Or I'm gonna charge you a crazy amount of money because if I gotta go through all that, I'm gonna make sure I'm good. Mm-hmm. Just to get us outside shot of your building, we can just throw the camera in the air and just snag something. You know what I'm saying? Alex said there's an app that you can use to just get insurance when you're flying. Can't remember the name. Yeah, there is apps that let you purchase on per situation or per scenario. It's just way cheaper when you do it like yearly or like month. Yeah. Somebody is telling Josh to put a jacket on.
This is my jacket.
Hoodie gang. I got you. Well, I ain't doing it no more. I keep getting stuck. But go ahead, Jimbo.
So, what would you recommend for somebody that's just starting off, to learn about video? Like, what kind of where do you think I should go to learn the right steps to video?
I personally like
video content.
I personally like lynda.com, which is now LinkedIn Learning. I felt like they had some really good courses on like lighting, video production that were taught by real instructors and not just some 10-year-old who on YouTube trying to teach you how to, you know what I'm saying? Because you pick up people bad habits. I learned a lot from lynda.com, and it was fairly cheap. It was like $20 a month, unlimited courses. They had some really good like lighting, shooting, understanding of composition, things like that. And that's probably my go-to place when I talk about where you can go to learn the actual how to do side of things. I don't know a place better than that, in my opinion.
What about Creative Live?
Creative Live is cool, but it reminded me of Udemy, where they were kind of like inviting people to add their course instead of having like, I felt like LinkedIn Learning had like professors from like NYU that had training courses. Like it was just a little more solid than anything.
Okay.
It was a little more solid.
Cool.
So would you recommend starting to do video with a demo client, even if you've never done any video production, or would you just find somebody else to kind of just, or like one of your close friends to work on and practice on before you move on to demo client?
Both actually. I mean, because there's things like headshots, right? You can practice lighting headshots with anybody. You know what I mean? You can, because the beta client is not just for the video aspect of it. It's going to be through the complete sales process.
Mm-hmm.
How do I approach you? When do I give you contracts? Like, what is the process of? Because one of the hardest things as a content creator is the communication part. Is me speaking to you, getting the information I need to be successful for you, right? Because that's what's hard about this industry, is making sure I create the right content that you like. And some people aren't good at explaining what they want because they don't know. You know what I'm saying? So with experience, you'll have the ability to kind of fill them through what they want. It's kind of like, you know, going to get your haircut the first time. You're like, I don't know. And a good barber, like, do you want it faded on the sides? Do you want the, you know what I'm saying? Like, you'll have that expertise to walk them through that. So that's the part that beta testing really helps. Because the last thing you want to do is just like if you went to a barber to get your haircut and you like, yo, I want to get a fade. And he's like, what is that? I don't know what none of that is. And you like, all right, bro, I'm gonna go ahead. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm not getting in your chair, bro, because you don't know what you're talking about. So the lighting and shooting and filming aspect can be done with practicing with a friend. I mean, just get them to talk and tell you a story and edit it together, you know, and use that to get comfortable with editing and having people be natural and learning how to cut in the middle of natural dialogue and make it fit. How to light, how to add a second, you know, angle and things like that. You can do that with a friend, but the business process you got to practice with a real business. It helps to practice with a real business because your friend is not going to understand the hurdles that a real business goes through. And I'd rather shoot for free and learn it where there's no pressure on you than to get a BS version from a friend and you get out in the streets and it ain't even nothing like that.
Gotcha.
You can practice free throws and jump shots your whole life, but until you get in the game where there's a buzzer and there's a defender, it's just not the same. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Frozen.
Yeah, I got a question for you, Todd.
For me,
do you have a set of pre-programmed responses for certain things a client may say, or do you just wing it during the meeting?
I've gotten to the point where it's hard to stump me. And because I'm working with the same niche over and over and over again, like I'm hearing the same question, right? And I just know how to, like, I give you an example. Like even I use the YouTube channel as an example, right? Every time I put out a video, somebody who's not a subscriber or who never watched more than 2 videos, like, how do I get new clients? I can answer that question in my sleep because I've heard it over and over again. And that's why I tell you, once you get in that niche and you can work with that same type of client, it's hard. Like sales become easier. Like answering their questions become easier. Understanding what success look like become easier because you didn't seen it 50 times. When you're doing everything, it's so much hard. It's harder to have success because you don't, you know what I'm saying? You're met with new scenarios every week. But in my niche, I'm met with the same 10 questions. And if I can answer them 10 questions good, I know that person's going to buy from me. But when I get good answering them 10 questions, everybody's buying from me. Like my ratio to close is higher than the ratio of people I lost because I'm answering their questions. And I can throw in some stuff that they didn't think about. And I know they didn't think about it because the last 10 guys who asked them questions didn't think about it. Now they mind blown. Now I'm the greatest thing. I'm a genius. And you know what I'm saying? I'm this, and they paying whatever. Now they understand why I'm so expensive, and they get me, and they, you know what I'm saying? Just like Austin said below, you know, when you talk about the license, people didn't think about the license thing. I didn't know there's a license for this. Hey, was the other 10 guys we interviewed have licenses? Nope. This guy got a license. Okay, he's bringing stuff to the table I never thought about. Insurance, I never thought about that. Okay, I get why you're the price you are, and those guys are just trying to get whatever. It makes sense that you're reassuringly expensive because you've already shown value, and I haven't spent money with you yet. That's when you got them. That's when they're not going with nobody else. They're going to keep coming back to you, and they're a customer for life. That's when they'll sign subscription plans, and you get long-term deals from when you add value before they spent $1, right? If from my point of view, nobody wouldn't buy a contract from me if I didn't have value before you spend any money with me, right? If I didn't know what I was talking about, I was just blah, 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 you'll be like, there's no way I'm giving you my money. It's just, you know what I'm saying? That's just how the world works. If I can show value before you spend $1 with me, you'll spend $1 with me. Because you know I'm getting something now. If I don't spend $1 with you, I'll still walk away a better person. Imagine what I'll get if I spend $1 with you. So it works. That's just business 101, right? It's just, that's the idea of showing value. And you can do that easier if you know who your opponent is. You know, you can catch fish better if you know I'm going to catch smallmouth bass in a lake and the temperature is this. I know what lure to use, what part of the dock to be in. I know what days to go on. I know when it's cloudy to go here, when it's hot to go there. I know who my opponent is. So I can prepare for my opponent better. If I don't know who I'm fighting that day, I don't know, or don't know what type of fish I'm catching that day, I'm all over the place. That's what, that's why a lot of companies do first month free and then you pay. That's why Netflix give you that first 7 days and you get on there and it's too much for you to watch. You're overwhelmed with all the great stuff you got. Or you can watch one episode of Stranger Things and you hooked for 3 seasons and now you can't watch 3 seasons in 7 days unless you got nothing else better to do with your life. But you on there. Go for it, Austin.
Yeah, with that the first month free thing kind of reminds me of what I sometimes do when I needed beta clients and first videos and something to show people. I would go to places that I too often, and I would say, these are some of the things that some in your industry could use with video, blah blah blah. And then I would say, could I come by, shoot you a really nice video, and if you like it, then you can pay for it and you can have it. But if not, then take some pictures and stuff like that. But it was kind of like if you like it, buy it kind of idea, which kind of reminded me of that. But
I was saying that's what the roofing company did that had the drone that had the heat. It was like one of the heat cameras and they would detect the hot spots in your roof. And I'm like, oh, how can I say no to that? You've already shown me value before I spend anything with you. You already sent me a picture of my roof. You show me where the heat spots are. Yeah, I'm going to bring you in to look at it and probably spend money with you because you've already given me something. There is a law. I forgot what the law is called, but there's a law where somebody do for you, you feel like I'm obligated to do something back. That's why in relationships, it's better when you have 2 givers instead of a giver and a taker. Because when y'all give to each other, you're going to feel obligated to continue to give to the other person. If I give and you take, I'm not getting nothing from it. You just taking. Go ahead, Frozen.
All right. So through your years of experience, what can you tell us about working with marketing directors in terms of common traits they have, things that make them tick?
They want results. Period. They want results. They want to know that this is an investment and they're not just blowing money. They want to know, they want to work with somebody that has a proven track record of going from one thing to another. Period. They don't care about how pretty your shots are, what camera you use, what companies you work for. They want to see results. So being in my niche and having the opportunity to work with beta clients and I have access to their results helped me close a lot of deals. Because you don't want to. The scariest thing a person can spend money on is something that is creative. That's something that's non-tangible and creative. It is a roll of the dice in their mind, right? It's not like you buying a Coca-Cola where you know once you spend this dollar, you're guaranteed to get this Coke. You're guaranteed to taste the Coca-Cola. You're guaranteed to have the ability to drink it. With content, it's not tangible. It's nothing they can touch. Whatever you deliver to them, if it's trash, they out of money. And that's scary when it comes to content. That's scary when it comes to spending thousands of dollars or spending your company's budget on something. You need results. So when you go in and you're providing a solution, right, that tells that that shows that you're here for results and not here to sell me a pretty picture. That goes a long way depending on what niche you're in, and it's something that helps when you talk like that. And you know, sometimes I'm just straight up like, listen, my goal is to make you more money. My goal is to take this from here to here. And you talk like that instead of, I'm gonna shoot it with the sky in the background and the trees and the way the light hit off, and they don't care about that. They care about, when I spend this 10 grand with you, will it help me bring more clients or customers in? And if you go in and you're saying, let me get a better understanding of who your target audience is so I can create it for them. Let me get a better understanding of your call to action. Where are some of the places you plan on putting the video? Like that says I care about results and not, the picture is, man, with the way they don't care about that. They care about results. If you can walk in the door with the mindset that I'm here to provide results, you become, it's a guard that lets down, like, whew, okay, he get it. I can spend money with him. If he's more expensive than all the guys that's telling me that they want to use the color blue because it looks good or whatever, I'm fine with that because this guy knows what he's talking about. And his objective is the same as mine, results. So when you have the experience of working with clients over and over again, and you can tell them that, you can speak from that experience, you'll close way more sales. Like it won't even be close. On Thumbtack, I was like 9 for 10. If I bid it on it, it was gone. Like it was a wrap. It was a wrap if I got to it. So, and Thumbtack will contact me, like call me up, like, yo, your stats are outrageous. Like, what are you doing? Like, there's been times where I've been brought on to speak. Thumbtack and Amazon did an event, and Thumbtack contacted me to go speak at that event on behalf of Thumbtack. Like that's how hard I was killing them. Like I was getting hired 150 times a month off Thumbtack. So I was just eating off Thumbtack. But it was because I knew the game. Like I stayed in my lane and I knew what my client was and I knew exactly what they wanted to hear. Go for it, create it. I can't hear you. Your mic is off. I can't hear you, bro. Your mic is off.
No, mic. I apologize.
Oh, no problem. I was like, he right in the middle of the good question.
So I got two. It might seem like two questions. So, on Thumbtack, were you just also on your niche, or did you just went like general?
I stayed in my niche.
Okay.
Yep.
And then second, like last week when I was going through like shooting the footage for the restaurant, there was a paying customer that they were just eating, and they approached me as far as like to do work with them. Like they gave me it's a thing right here. Like it's a real estate agent guy, and I'm kind of like I'm gonna follow up with him just tomorrow, because it was about a week, and he said he was gonna call me. He hasn't called me yet, but I'm just gonna follow up now on those kind of cases. Would I just pick up the work, or what's up with that? Like just for future reference as well.
Yeah. Listen. In life, there are times where there's gonna be girls that's attracted to you that ain't really what you want. I will never tell you to kick them out of bed.
Yeah.
But go after what you want. You know what I'm saying? Like have your niche. Like don't the low hanging fruit will be there. You know what I'm saying? Like just make sure you focus your business, your money, your time on growing within your niche.
Yeah.
But you're going to get a lot of people from the side. Like, hey, you want? Sure, I'll jump on that and take it. You know what I'm saying? But make sure your website. That's the chicken tenders at Olive Garden. You know what I'm saying? It's the chicken tenders at Olive Garden. Olive Garden's focus on Italian food. They focus on going after Italian people who love Italian. However, you know, you may get some people that want something different that's sitting at the table. I'm not turning you away, but I'm not dedicating none of my website, none of my focus, my expertise on chicken tenders. But we still got them off. So I'm not. Don't say no to it. If it's a layup, make the layup. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Definitely make the layup.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and I think that I don't think I would have been approached if he didn't see me either one with my polo and being presentable, and then two, just the fact that, you know, I was within a business recording for that business. He was kind of, and you know, he's a paying customer for that business is there because they trust them. You know, obviously for you know, all that kind of help. And then when I whooped up my card, and then like this is, you know, everything is happening so crazy, like by the grace of God, and I'm so grateful because I pray and I you know, I get my little thing though. But like I check out that website and they're like multi-million-dollar homes. It's a real estate firm in downtown Denver, and he just wants like something really simple, like, yeah, I just want you to come and shoot me while I'll go through this property. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, bam, I got you.
You'd be surprised at how many niches are under your nose that you wouldn't have thought about unless you got out there. Because my niche changed. It wouldn't. I was going this way, and I was like, I'm getting a lot of people say this, and they paying. You'd be surprised at how it changes, and that's fine. Like that experience. You know, I was doing. What was I doing? I was doing. What was I doing? I was doing mostly like, it was different type of promo videos. There's like quick promo video, but there was like $500 videos, and then you go get a taste of one $5,000 video over here, and you're like, yo, I ain't too crazy about that, but whenever I get one of them, it's a home run. Like I'm gonna do one of them instead of 10 of these, and I may not be crazy about it, but I'm good at it. People calling me, I'm about to switch and go this direction. So sometimes you learn that, you know what I'm saying? You learn what works, and you switch up. Which one of y'all was first? Was Jamal? Was you first? Go for it, bro.
No, I think it was Austin.
Okay, go for it.
You're good, man. You were first, but I don't want to keep switching it back and forth.
Oh, my bad.
You're good.
I've been drinking. But so I had a question. Like, whenever you got your first, you know, the first video that you made your five or 10 grand, what was the task, and what equipment did you use at that time?
Man, I was using like a 5D Mark II. This was after like the 5D Mark IV was out. Like it wasn't.
I mean, not just the camera itself, but like the background lightings, the sliders, things like that.
I wasn't even using a lot. I was using one camera, 3 lights. I think I had a DJI Osmo at the time. I was getting B-roll with. No. I wasn't using the 5D Mark II. I was using a Blackmagic production camera, the 4K. I had it rigged up with a bunch of crap that really was just stupid. It had a big old cage on it and microphone holders and cables hanging. When I showed up with it, you would think I was doing something special. I had that, and I had 3 lights, and I was just shooting B-roll. It was talking head. It was easy money. I offered a solution. The solution is what made the price go up, not the gear. For me, it was. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Austin.
I was just gonna ask so basically when you're at a point where I feel like I've done a lot of good work, like really good work. I have video testimonial minutes long of people saying how much it helped immediately with their engagement, with everything for winery and vineyard. So basically when I'm at the point where I've got these really nice videos, I've got a bunch of testimonials, I feel like my website's at a good place. I feel like I've got a good demo reel. Day to day, I feel like I'm not getting in. Like, what would you, Ty, say is the most important next step when you're at that point to get people calling you? Is it like Facebook ads, investing in people to write those ads, Google ads, Instagram, like any of that? I just like today, tomorrow, what is that most important step you would say?
The most important step is always conversion on your website, right? Making sure your website convert the client. I don't care. You want to make sure that you don't have to get 1,000 people to your website to get 10 calls. You want to get 50 people to your website, you get 10 calls. For that, you're going to need proof, right? So all of those testimonials and things like that, make sure that they're along the lines of proof, proof of concept. And they help explain that. Like I try to stay away from, if you look at one of the testimonials on my site, I specifically have somebody I work with talk along the lines of, hey, it wasn't the cheapest. We shopped around, but they offered the best solution. I want to show value in that. That makes you expensive. I don't like none of my people saying it was the best price. It was cheap. I don't want that. I'm not trying to attract cheap clients. So proof on your website and website conversion should be the two things you should really focus on.
Okay. And what about getting people to the site? Like, what do you think? Facebook ads?
From there, I use Google. I like Google ads better. But your niche is more, what type of drone is it? What type of industry?
So really what I'm focusing on now, because I'm getting the most engagement with it, is wineries and vineyards, promotional videos for them, why they're different, why people should come to them over the 100 other wineries and vineyards. Their scenery is a certain way for this people.
Right. With those, I would actually, I'm gonna be honest with you. I would directly approach them. I would do a little bit of Google marketing, and there's a handful of wineries and vineyards in your area. I would directly approach them. I would send either mailers directly to them. I walk in with a gift basket because it's probably 8 to 10 in your area. I would do something along the lines of that. For the price you would spend $500-$600 for a Google campaign for a month, you can spend $200 of that and get 6 baskets and walk into the door and introduce yourself and have a conversation with them.
Awesome. Thank you, man.
And that'll take you way further than hoping that they click on something on Google to go back and read. No, look, this is what we do. Here's my card. Who can I talk to about, what we offer? And walk in the door with it.
Awesome.
That's what I would do. With something that is not as, if it was dentists, it's 1,000 dentists in your area, I would approach them a little different, but it's probably 10 to 20 companies in your market that offers that I would just introduce myself to.
Mm-hmm.
Or if they all have a common contractor, right? Like for events, I always say the common contractor for events is an event planner. If they have a common contractor, then I would try to sneak in with that contractor. That's just me. Go ahead, Jamel.
So, quick question, Ty. So, will you be making a video of in the future of how can you find a trash SEO person who's doing trash SEO or something like that?
Oh man,
because that actually would help people, understand a little bit more about SEO. Because I know SEO is one of big factors too to get people to actually get to your website.
Yep.
And you want to get people to your website to get to your demo reel. So, would you have some pinpoints about that in the future?
I may consider that. I will tell you this real quickly, and don't fall for a subscription plan with SEO. I fell for that many a times and probably spent $10,000-$20,000. Don't hire somebody to do it one time. Hire them in 90 days to check up on it and follow up on it. Hire them in another 90 days because what they'll try to do is make you think it's an all day, everyday thing. You'll be paying $600 a month. They'll be putting 2 hours a month into it every month, and they'll act like they're working on it. They're not. They're because it takes a week or two to even see the results. It takes a week or two to even be ranked and for it to be, what I'm saying? Like, don't fall for the monthly SEO marketing plan. On the flip side, if you look under a lot of get rich quick schemes on YouTube and how to go into business and make $20,000 a month, be a marketer, be an SEO marketer, because those people understand that you'll be paying monthly for something that takes them 2 hours a day to do, 2 hours a month to do, because there's not that much change. So what has worked best for me is I went on Fiverr and I found an SEO specialist that specializes in the platform that I use. So if you're using WordPress, you're using Squarespace, yada yada yada, I find one that specializes in that platform. I hire them for a cheap price to do it. I go on websites to track my ranking because there's websites where you can track your ranking. Take note of where you are. Wait 30 days or 2 weeks. Come back and keep looking to see if you're increasing or not. that tells me if I'm gonna stick with this person or not. But that's a simple way of doing it compared to, because when you're paying listen, I remember I signed a contract with a company that was like $3,000 a month, and I was in a 6-month contract. It did absolutely nothing for me. They were in Canada. I wanted to drive up there and put them hands on them. But you cross state lines, you cross country lines, it's a whole nother felony. So, I decided not to. But they will get you. Don, what's going on? I like that background, man. So that's something you want to be careful of when you go SEO, because it's I don't like to use the word scam. It's not a scam. It works. However, it's kind of like, remember back in the day, if any of y'all remember old school internet where you paid by the hour, they know damn well they should have been charging by the hour for internet. But like it's phone service, like over time it got to the point where it's unlimited because that's more realistic. I think SEO is like that now, where they're charging you monthly and it shouldn't. Yes, you want people to go in and look at it, but I'd rather pay somebody when I want them to go in and look at it instead of being stuck into a contract.
Question. So I know you made a huge point about bumping up your be able to bump up your get more money out of them by 25% by adding another language. With that, if you do your demo reel, can you put it in a different language for someone else, whatever you to bump up that bump up your value?
Of course. Heck yeah. Depending on what your niche is, right? And just like Creative said, if I'm dealing with a lot of food trucks that may do tacos or they may do like Mexican cuisine, I may have a Spanish version of my demo reel because a lot of the owners who own these food trucks, Spanish may be their first language. I don't want them to have to, you know what I'm saying? Like usually your second language, your first language, like the back of your hand. The second language, but the understanding is usually better because you were brought up speaking the first language. If I can help them understand what we do in their native language, then I'm gonna do that. And it just works better. You'll just get more. If that's your niche is there, you definitely want to be there. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll give you an example, right? I'll give you a company that does a great job at doing this. Sprite. They have a more urban audience, right? Sprite commercials like, yo, drink Sprite, it's dope. Mountain Dew have a more rural target audience. It's like, dude, do the do. They speak in the language of their ideal client. I don't know what kind of taste tests people sat down and people from the hood was like Sprite, yo. And people, on surfboards was like, dude, Mountain Dew. However they figured it out, and they've decided to make sure that they've provided the marketing material to go after that language. Like even if you look at print ads from Sprite, it sounds the same. You know what I'm saying? It sounds like it's talking to that target audience. It's written for them. So the same needs to happen with your website. Once you know who your target audience is, you can write it to punch them right in the throat. Right in the throat. You know what I'm saying? Just like, if somebody was, just look at Sprite commercials. They know who they're talking to. And then look at Mountain Dew, completely different. They'll cross sometimes. Sometimes they'll cross, but usually they're going after a different audience. Go ahead, Jimmo.
So talking about the website, whenever you made your website, and I know you have the guy that you used on your actual website, if you wanted to go with him, how would you go about using his services? Because he has different services that offer different things as far as like the amount of pages that you can design on your website. So what would be your ideal service from that one fiber guy that you would use to kind of just create a a website for your company?
So I would start with single page design, and then from there, I would, depending on what your niches are and what products you want to focus in. Like for me, I focus on corporate event photography and highlight videos, and then commercial photography that's corporate as well. So I'll have photo, video, and those are two different pages I got. So as your main page is most important. That's where you focus at. If you want to spend money on something now, focus on the main page that got who you are, what you do, demo reel, call to action, proof, call to action, more proof, call to action. From there, you can go into details on products you offer. That's where I will come back and do my second iteration of spending money and investing in the webpage, just to give more detail on the specific products that I offer or services that I offer. That's how I would do it. But you don't got to come out the gate doing all of that. You can come out the gate establishing your brand, talking about what you do for other brands, and then showing proof that you do it. Call to action. Contact us, call us, let's get this going.
All in one page?
All in one page, yep.
Okay.
Because people don't want to, you'll notice once you start looking at analytics, you're losing people 2-3 pages in. Just like when you go to Google right now, you're not going to page 2 or 3. If it's, most people don't even want to scroll. If they don't come up in the first page, everything else drop off significantly after wherever you got to scroll to. Really, it just drops as you go down. So you can imagine people on page 28 and get no love. People on page 3 ain't getting no love. So it's definitely something to keep in mind as you are investing in your website. One page, make it simple, stupid. Think about it like this. Make it easy for people to send you their money. Make it easy. That's like people don't want to wait in line for whatever they want. It got to be something they really, really want. Some Jordans, a PlayStation 5, something. It got to be something they really, really want for people to want to stand in line. Anything else, people are like, I ain't standing in line. I'm not about to work to pay you. Not going to happen. So something to definitely think about. Make it easy. Dumb it down. Make it as simple and stupid as possible. Right? If you think it's not simple enough, make it simpler. You want people to be like, yeah, bye, done. I've even toyed with doing when I was doing a lot of headshots, making it so people can book appointments and pay everything on the website. I can just show up. But at the time, the technology wasn't as good as it is now, where like Square appointments and things like that, where it can automatically populate on your calendar. And now you can set it up. Like for instance, with the consultant call we have on the website, I'm notified. I can set up my calendar where my calendar automatic. If I put something on my calendar, you can't book that time. Somebody can go in there and book a time, and I'm just notified of it. So that technology.
Appreciate it.
Oh, no problem.
Hey, shout out to Jamel. Shout out to Jamel for he said when y'all were calling him Link and talking about his 8-bit audio last week, he was like, I'm gonna level up. I'm hitting a 1.2 on the lens.
Yep.
I'm gonna focus on the sheepdog. I'm gonna lean back.
Yep.
And let y'all know.
Hey, I appreciate you for the recognition. Thank you, everybody, for recognizing what I'm doing. I like to give a shout out to the high man above.
Let me give you the big screen. Go ahead, brother.
At the end of the day,
it's frozen.
either we seek or sin. Froze.
No, he didn't freeze. He's still live. He's good.
Oh, okay. On mine, it froze up for some reason.
At the end of the day, it's either sink or swim. I didn't want to be Link anymore, so I had to upgrade a little bit. I'm telling y'all, buy the sheepdog. Just say
my sheepdog,
dude. That's why I sent the message, man. You get like most improved gold member.
Yeah.
Last week, dude. That's like straight up. That was beautiful.
And you got something to drink too. That's
I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Because on the Facebook group, it was hilarious going in there, and somebody was it was a post.
Hey, it was funny. It was so funny because like the very next day, you said, "Why your videography is trash?" I was like, "Bro,
that posted that video."
Yeah, the very next day, I was like.
It been edited a while ago, bro. It wasn't been edited.
I know, but it was
all week.
He was waiting
all week thinking about I'm next live ready.
Next live.
Right, I had to switch it up. I had to go to YouTube.
Nothing wrong with that, bro. See, you fail, you come back stronger. Go ahead, Mike.
I do want to know. So, what is that setup? Because that's a badass setup. Are you using a camera that's streaming using into your laptop to get that look? Because you're using a lens. I know you're using a lens.
Yeah. So I used to use my laptop, which I'm pointing at, but I used to use my laptop camera. And I was looking, I was like, let me try to take just lighting. No, it's trash. So I was like, okay, there's a way to put. I saw who was it? I forgot. It was somebody else that was in the party that had real good lighting that looks like somewhat similar to like more graphic. I'm like, man, this is nice. So I YouTubed it to figure out. There's 3 different things that I started adding on to my my laptop that actually helped me connect it to my camera, which is like Camera Live and Cam Twist along with OBS. So once I got all three of those together, and as you can see, like last time, I was able to get my mic, so I had to buy a new mic. So one of these mics is the ones that I tried to use last time because I was using this. Uh, there you go. I was using this, but it didn't work. So I got it connected directly to my laptop now. But as far as the camera, I'm using the EOS R, and I'm using the a 35 1.5 Samyang. Yeah, so that's what I'm using as of right now.
That's what's up. We got my man over here eating real quick. I just want to give him some big screen love while he getting in trouble over there.
Don't even know.
He don't even know. He'll watch it. He'll go back and watch it later. It's all good. It's all good. But I want to say, it's all about growth, progress. It's all about. That's what I said, Michael. Keep your head up, bro. Because I didn't been there. We didn't been there. And that's what community is important, man. You need to be around some guys who can tell you, man, look, I've been there, I've done it, keep doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you can know.
That's where I'm at right now. I'm at a low right now, and I know it's gonna get there, but right now I'm really at a low. Again, because 2 days ago you just did that throat punch.
Yeah.
I was like,
hey, Michael. So
yeah.
So if you keep positive people in your life, you're gonna become more positive. If positive things is gonna happen. So I mean, if you keep jumping in the party, jumping into the live, explaining what you're going through, you're gonna have positivity coming from that. So it just takes time. That's all it really is. So I mean, once you get through all the trials and tribulations, you can be like, damn, I made it.
Okay, I'm bringing something up to you guys. A lot of my life, fear has always really encompassed it. That's why I went to the military. Like I could overcome this fear. But long story short, it's the fear gets me because pain, personal life, pain. I hate pain, and pain sometimes you have to have change, and when you change, it hurts. And right now, it's like I'm sucking. I'm really sucking. It's like I just made this thing like straight head on, and then I get that brick wall, and it hurts. Right now, I feel I'm hurt. I am super hurt, and what you said, Ty, really got to me. It was a tinge, just a tinge, but I felt it. I really wanted to give up. When you did that throw punch, that I came that close.
But the purpose of that throw punch is so you don't waste years thinking you're doing the right thing to get there and realize nobody was really honest with you. Nobody really told you, like, nah. I respect somebody who's like, look, dude, stop doing that. Do this. Instead of somebody like, oh yeah, okay, you got it. Yeah, anyway, like I was saying, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't appreciate people who BS me just to make me feel good. I don't care about my feelings. Set me straight. And that's maybe what I got from the military. Like, yo, set me straight. Don't worry about my feelings. Don't worry about cutting to me, get me right, get me to the point where I'm starting to see results. And I will appreciate that more than you not telling me. If my breath stink, tell me my breath stink. Don't tell me. Don't just keep smiling.
That's the thing. I could understand that. You know this. Shoot, move, communicate. That's how I thought about this. This thing. I was gonna shoot for it. I was gonna move and communicate. And then I felt it. I really felt like, man, I'm moving the wrong direction. And it's like I have to change, but it was a hard change. Right now, it's a hard change.
Be thankful you're in a position to recognize where change needs to happen, because there are a lot of people who don't have that opportunity. They're doing what they've been doing, expecting new results, right? They're doing the same thing over and over again. The fact that you hit that wall and you can back up and be like, okay, I got to change something. That's perfect. That is a part of being an entrepreneur. Like that's a part of going into business for yourself and growing. A lot of people don't hit that brick wall. People keep clapping and they keep running and they ain't going nowhere. They just want the attention of people who clapping. But if you really want to do this for real, it's going to be some brick walls. I always say everybody a boss and a CEO until it's time to talk taxes. And they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. Well, you ain't really doing it. So it's not a get rich quick scheme. It's not a pyramid scheme. I'm not telling you to invite your friends to see success. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that. Like, this takes hard work. It's a grind. It's a pain in the ass. Sometimes you're gonna be broke as hell. Sometimes you're gonna be richer than you ever was. You know, I went to having a negative bank account to having a savings account I can't even tell my family about. Like, you know what I'm saying? I've been there. And it will happen, but it's not gonna happen the easy way. And you will appreciate it so much more when it start going up. You're gonna be like, gosh, okay, I'm loving this. I worked hard. And I'm telling you, I didn't get just 5 years ago why people drove $200,000, $300,000 cars. I didn't understand it. Why they got these huge houses? Why they flexing so tough? I get it now because of what they went through to get there. They deserve it. That's their trophy.
Yeah.
It makes sense now. You know what I'm saying? I get why some people own jets. I get it because they worked so hard and failed so much and got so many doors slammed in their face and felt like you feeling right now so many times that by the time they overcome that, I'm stunting. I'll drive that. That's me. That one too. That one too. That one too. When you get to the point where you get a car and people asking you, what do? You made it. Go ahead, Ronnie.
So I don't know if I mentioned this last week, man, but I just want to give you props again up like that because it's not easy, right? Exposing yourself like that and being vulnerable and saying, look, you know, I need help. I'm struggling. And, you know, just being raw like that. So that's number one. We applaud you. Not just me, but I think everybody here applauds you for that because it takes a lot of courage. In addition to that, I know Jamal has said it. I think Ty's touched on it as well, and a few other folks. It's about mindset, man. That's really what it boils down to: mindset and perspective. At some point, and that's why it's important for community, right? To get around like-minded people, right? If you want to see where you're gonna, I think what is the saying? You know, if you want to see where you're gonna be in 5 years, take a look at your closest 5 friends or whatever, or closest like the 5 closest people in your circle. Enjoy the process, and that's what Jamel was talking about, man. Is enjoy that process. Find, and I don't want to make this sound hokey, but you can even ask my wife, the one that doesn't want to be on camera most of the time. I don't mind getting an L. I don't mind taking an L as long as I can learn from it. I don't mind, you know what, that video sucked. And if you don't mind, Ty, I just want to share a little story real quick.
Go for it.
That's cool?
Yeah. Story time. Let's go.
Okay. So we got a gig from a client, actually through Thumbtack, as a matter of fact, if I remember correctly. And, you know, Honey Bear set it up and we talked to the client, got everything figured out. You know, it was kind of a lowball deal. We were kind of like, you know, still negotiating, figuring out how to, you know, price and everything like that. And what they paid was like way lower than what it should have been, but that's not the point. Point is, we got the deal, right? They were a speaker, a motivational speaker, quote unquote, that was coming out of town here to Albuquerque, and they're going to be speaking to a room full of engineers. And so the job was for us to film their presentation and basically kind of like edit that for them and everything. Knowing, after talking to one of my film mentors, we have no control over lighting. So trying to film in a hotel room or in a hotel conference room, it's not the best situation, right? But we figured that we were going to make this work. Not a problem. We did a 2-camera setup, one on either side. Had audio and everything going. We met with the client, I think like a couple of days beforehand, kind of explain, you know, hey, here's how we want to do things. What is it that you're looking for? You know, kind of, you know, did that meet and greet after we did stuff on the phone as well. And then the day of, you know, we made sure we had it mic'd up and everything, and we were good to go. And so presentation was probably about an hour or so, a little over an hour. And turns out that he's like, hey, look at, all right, let's take the footage. Because we probably went through about maybe like 3 or 4 cards between the 2 cameras. We go to our laptop and we start going through the footage with them. And next thing you know, it's like, where's the audio? And my wife lost her mind because she was the one that was in charge of audio. And I sat there and saw she actually got him set up and everything, tested it. We did an audio check. And the thing was, she didn't hit the button again, right? To make sure that the audio stayed on. She stopped it, played it back. Everything's cool. Put it in his pocket. And I guess didn't turn the audio back on. And baby girl like broke down, literally started crying and just lost it. And I was like, look, don't sweat it. Even he got to the point of like, look, it's okay. It's okay. And I said, you know what? I said, first and foremost, let me just get this out the way for you. I think Roger or Robert or something, Roger was his name. I said, first, we're going to get you a refund, 100%. I just want to get that out the way. Number two, give us a minute and let us kind of figure out what we can do to maybe kind of recoup from this and kind of salvage something out of this. And so what we ended up doing is I think the president of the engineering team or engineering group here based in Albuquerque, we were able to get him for an interview. And so basically what we did was kind of like a semi-testimonial promo video for the guy, for his brand, and said, hey, what we'll go ahead and do is, if you don't mind, maybe we can kind of maybe, salvage this a little bit and create you a sizzle reel. Is that cool? He's like, look, anything you can do at this point, that'll be cool. And I think we still sent him the footage and everything. And long story short, he was cool. He's like, look, you know what? Thanks for the refund. You guys are good, though. Don't worry about it. We sent him the videos. Like, I really appreciate it. I'll definitely be using this. I was like, when I come back down to Albuquerque, let's meet up and do lunch, blah, 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 blah. And so she took it really hard in the sense of, I can't believe I just made us look like a bunch of amateurs and rookies. I'm like, look, it's okay. Don't worry about it. And I was like, next time we do a next gig, you're in charge of the audio, bottom line. And I said that to her because I know full well, and this is something I picked up from the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. I know you're going to beat yourself up more than anybody else could. And that's the last thing I want to do. I'm going to lift you up. So I know if I put you in charge of audio, you're going to quadruple check 10 times over to make sure that audio is going to be good. And she was straight cool with that. It took her a few weeks, but she was cool with that afterwards. Never had a problem with audio after that. Never. So the audio was good. But the one thing that could have been different about that situation is that I could have flipped my lid too at the same time. Lost my mind, chewed her out, looked like a bunch of just idiots in front of the client, and just went off in a different direction. But then that's not how I operate. I said, okay, first of all, what can we do to make sure we take care of the client? Financially speaking and content-wise, to still get them a good product. Number two, what can we do in the future to make sure that we minimize or eliminate this from happening? How can we grow? Instead of beating ourselves up about it. And it's a lot easier for me to kind of have that mindset than she's still kind of coming up in that, in that perspective. And that's what I would just try to encourage you to do is when you have a situation where you do those 20 calls and everybody hangs up on you or tells you no. Okay, cool. Let me get back to the lab, figure out what I did and what I didn't do. Let me assess and come back at it again, right? Figure out what I need to do different. And that's why it's so important to be in this community and share things like that so that way we can all help one another. It's okay to fail, man. Failure, that's just progress forward, baby. Failure is not a bad thing. Just like Ty said,
fail forward.
Failure is not a bad thing. Exactly. Fail forward. Just don't stay stagnant in that. Don't stay in that muck. Don't stay in that quagmire. Keep moving forward. Like, you know what? All right, I fell down. Let me get myself back up again. Hey, Ty, what could I have done different on this? Hey, Jamel, what could I have done different on this? Ask whomever. But don't beat yourself up, man.
Yep.
That's what we would encourage you not to do. Instead, like, look, I need help, y'all. I need help. Don't be too proud. We all need it. That's why we all here in this group. This is fam right here, man. That's what this is. That's why we're here to help one another grow. All right? So just keep your chin up, man. You have far more talent than I think you give yourself credit for, man.
That's a fact.
Far more. You just got to start believing that. And I think as soon as you do and you realize, like, whoa.
But let me bring you off of that.
No,
use the force, Luke. Use the force.
That's the part. You say you have far more talent. I never really, when people say positive things personally about, it's like, I kind of like, is it really me, or is it you
Mhm.
know, a token compliment?
Right.
Because
Right.
I've never
It's
received
not
that.
Maybelline. It's you. It's definitely you. It's not Maybelline.
Oh, that Maybelline.
But again, that's in me. That's the personal growth that I need to work on.
Yes.
That I'm every day I'm still chipping away at it. But what I'm afraid, this is what I'm afraid of, is as I'm doing that personal growth, guess what I am sacrificing?
What?
This house, putting food on the table, other responsibilities, whether it's financial or not, that is not getting focused on. You get what I'm saying?
Why is it not?
Yeah.
Why is it not getting focused on, though, if you don't mind me asking? How
Well,
is you growing as a person, which is going to improve you to be a better business person, photographer, videographer, father, soon to be maybe, husband, mentor? How is that improvement in yourself going to affect your household?
I never thought of that question because I'd never gone beyond that. I worry about what's gonna happen here in
Being
the now.
a better business person will make you a better person in general. Your negotiating skills
Yes.
will be better. The way you communicate, the way you see the world will change. Business is everything. There's a book that I read that I think will be perfect for you. That I'm gonna share. It's called Finding Success in Failure.
Mm.
I listened to the audio version. That was the first business book I ever read, and I
Do you know
forgot to
who the
even
author
share
is?
it. I just posted a link.
Okay, I'll look at that.
But I listened to the audio version, and it is all about finding success and it's all about the mindset of failing forward. It's kind of where I get that idea from. It's a really good book, and it speaks just to the mindset about a guy who had multiple startups that failed. He didn't stop. What he learned from it, how he applied it, and just where he is now. So, again, people think the line is a straight line, but it's a scribbly line that goes up and down. You know what I'm saying? It's just not a path that is obvious. It's gonna always be some bloody knees, some broke ankles, some scratched up knuckles. It is what it is. It's moments where you like, I don't know about this. Listen, I can tell you plenty of struggle stories, bro. You want struggle stories? I can tell you stories where I mentioned it last week where rent was messed up. Some money came out of my account. I didn't have the whole rent. What am I gonna do? Let's say the rent 1,000. I got 800 of it. They don't want 800. I took that money and rolled the dice and put it on Thumbtack, and I said it had to work. And I ended up getting $2,000 jobs off that money, and I was able to pay my rent, off both deposits. Being able to, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was times where my back was to the wall and I had to bet on me, and that as you grow in this industry, in this business, and you learn, you become more proficient. You become more okay with betting on yourself. And you get to the point where I can't tell you how many times I didn't scream getting off the phone, closing the deal, screaming in the house, like, I wish they would. They can't see me out here. You know what I'm saying? Just hype because I bet on myself and I won.
But do you feel that there's collateral damage with that? Because if I'm 20 years old, have no responsibilities, like you just said, you just go straight ahead. But now you have responsibilities, and every decision feels like a minefield or eggshells.
Well, that's just life. It's always going to be scary. That's just a part of it. It's always going to be scary. You always look at it there. When I left my job, I had a job that was paying $80,000 a year. I left to go start my business. People was like, "You are absolutely crazy. You are absolutely nuts." And all you got to do is show up and film, and you leaving that to go because you want to take pictures for yourself. You crazy. You gonna risk your kids' Christmas so you can be your boss when they got healthcare and everything? You crazy. So there's always going to be a scary upside. You know what I'm saying? That's just life. Whenever you bet on yourself, that's life. The truth is, it's scarier for you to stay at your job that you're currently at because they can tap you on your shoulder and be like, "Peace, thank you. We don't like the color of your shoes. You out of here."
Well, see, this is where I'm getting at. Where I'm at right now, there's a Damocles sword right now. They could literally say what you just said right now.
Yeah, they can be like, "We don't like that shirt, buddy. Have a nice life.
Yeah,
Go ahead, clock out."
And I'm afraid of that too. It's man.
You got to. I mean, it's just life though. You're gonna be. It's. you got to embrace that fear, and you got to turn it
but,
into something.
but this is just you for us military folks.
Yeah.
I've been deployed. I've been to Afghanistan 3 times in Iraq. I've
Thank
seen
you for your service, by the way.
Yes.
Never
Yes.
forget.
No,
Never.
be serious.
You never walked in that. No, after all the training in the world, and you got 50,000 people with you and $1 million tanks, you walked on that battlefield scared as I don't know what.
Yeah.
It's just so. I mean, even with all the resources in the world, you full battle rattle with gear, and you still scared. They throwing rocks at you. You still scared.
Yeah.
You going against a enemy that got rocks and slingshots.
See, but here's what I'm trying to get at. You know what I relied on? I relied on a train that was given to me.
Use that in this case.
Okay, that's the point I'm getting at too. My training, that training that I got was through months of being from a civilian to a soldier and get me trained to that. And that was my mindset. That mindset has helped me survive that predicament and where I am right now. But along with that became a lot of battle scars. That's why it's so hard right now to failure feels so significantly harder to grasp, like you guys say. For me,
I mean,
get
used to the idea of being rejected. Get used to the idea of failing, so that you can overcome it. It's just a mindset.
That's what I'm saying. My mindset has really scarred me because I failed certain things during that time, and it cost things. I'm not going to go into detail, but that cost things. So that really messed up my stuff.
I mean, I think that's something. I feel you. I feel you. I think that's something that you may have to tackle first as you move in this, because this entrepreneurial journey is about failing forward, right? Like some running backs just catch the ball and they fall a yard every time. They're good running backs because they don't average a negative, they fall forward. And that's what it is until you get that big break and you can take off and get 50 yards. But the goal is to be resilient. The goal is to scrape your knee and get back up. It ain't about the fall. It's about what you do after it. And you just got to prepare yourself and some people do it out of just being naive, not knowing. But you gotta know that you're gonna hate life sometimes. You gotta know that it's gonna suck sometimes. Like it's gonna be like, what? No. And you just gotta keep moving. You gotta bet on yourself. You gotta get to the point where you're comfortable betting on yourself. I bet on me before I bet on anybody. People are like, what? You invest in stocks? I invest in my own damn stock. I'm about to let somebody wake up and tell me that the numbers looking funny and my life savings gone. I'm gonna invest in my company. Before I invest in somebody I don't even know.
But
you know what I'm saying? Hoping they sell enough toilet paper to pay me back.
Ty, I bet on myself and it cost things. I'm not gonna go to bet it cost things. And I'm so afraid to bet on myself sometimes because of what happened.
Well, Michael, you got 2 kidneys. You can lose one of them now. You can bet on one of the kidneys and still make it. You know what I'm saying? You can still get out here and just, you just got to keep going. I'll be a one-armed photographer out here, losing an arm and a leg, hopping to get them shots. I'll just buy me a gimbal and buy me some good in-body stabilization and just hop my way on and get that footage. You know what I'm saying? Like the point I'm trying to prove to you is you're going to be faced with obstacles mentally and physically. This road is not an easy road, or everybody would do it. However, it is one of the most rewarding battles you will ever face in life.
Amen.
But it's going to come with bruises. It's going to come with bruises. I try to make sure I'm clear about that. I don't want it because them get rich quick schemes be too smooth. Like, yeah, you can it's going to come with bruises. You got to fight to be here. But damn it, it's worth it. It's so worth it. Because guess what? I slept in today. And I slept in yesterday. My son got a football game this weekend. I will be there. And we're going to be rooting. I'm going to be one of them loud parents. So that's worth it to me. It's going to be a battle, though. I put in Gary Vee said it's the eat SHIT stage, which I ain't gonna say because it's YouTube, but Gary Vee said it's a eat S stage that you go through. It's like 2-year period. Be prepared to be miserable for 2-3 years to live the rest of your 40, 50 years of your life on top. But you gonna get beat up. It's like a gang. We got to jump you in, Mike. You can't just walk around and represent. You got to get jumped in before you, you know what I'm saying? You get to wear the colors.
To answer Joshua, yes, she supports me, and
You know
I'm
what I'm
glad.
saying?
I'm glad she supports me with that.
That's the win. It's a gang now. It's a gang. Go ahead, Jamal.
Yeah. So
Eli
Michael,
cracking up.
so Michael, I know you've been putting everything on the table for us. So I'll go ahead and add to that. Just give you a perspective of what I've been through and stuff like that. So I had a brother. Uh, he passed away back in 2012. But before then, he was diagnosed with lupus at a young age. He had about a 50 surgeries. You could actually see all the scars and stuff from the surgeries and stuff like that. And then also he had well over 25 seizures in his life, but he never complained. He been in the hospital all the time. He lost both of his kidneys, and he had to go to dialysis like 3 times a week and stuff like that. But he never complained about that, and he ended up going into the hospital plenty of times. And the only time he really complained is, when can I get out? And during that time, he lived until he was 29. He ended up like working 2 jobs, going to school, things like that. Never complained. And for me, I was a complainer. I was always a complainer because I was like, nothing's good for me. I always had a negative mindset in my mind. And when there was a point in time where I was taking care of him and my grandma, and they wanted me to move to South Carolina. I didn't want to leave, but they say they'll be okay. And when I left, 2 weeks later, my brother passed away, and I always felt like it was my fault. So from then on, I always tried to replicate what he did, like not complain and things like that, because it hurt a lot. But at the same time, I wasn't healing because I didn't get the proper help that I needed. I just thought if I do what he does, it's going to be okay. But all in all, what I'm just saying is, there's going to be trials and tribulations in your life. You acknowledge it. And you want to make sure that you face it. Because the only way you'll be able to become a better person is to face things that that you fear. Like it. So my mom passed away from domestic violence at Fort Hood when I was 6.
Oh gosh, I'm sorry.
And it's thank you. But with that, it took me 24 years to go see her graveyard. It took me 24 years because I joined the military when I was 26, and two years in, I always felt like something was wrong. So I went and did counseling because it was free and stuff like that at the time. Whenever I was in Japan, and with that, it helped me understand that it stemmed back to my what happened to my mom, because we never talked about it, because we actually saw her pass away. We actually saw what happened. So with that, I had to confront some things because I know there was obstacles in my life that I needed to conquer. And that's one thing you have to make sure is just conquer that, man. If you want to step forward, there's certain things that you have to conquer that sucks. It took, like I said, it took me 24 years to go see my mom graveyard. So, and you don't know anything until you step over that boundary. So, hey, I just wanted, because you was the only one that, put your life out there. So I just wanted to explain to you, hey, you can do it. Look at me. I'm over here saying this. I'm over here making a whole different video from last week. Yeah, I'm a different situation. Yeah, I adapted, overcome.
Looking good. Look at you, man. All up in 4K. Looking like you're all Dapper Dan over there.
8-bit to 4K in 1 week. I'm proud of you, bro.
I put it out there because I feel that it is somewhat of a healing mechanism. Just what you said, community. I'm new to this video entrepreneur community. I'm new to this. And I bring this out there because I know for a fact that there's people in the world like me of fear, analysis. You get paralysis for analysis, or I forgot what it's called, where you don't move because you're so afraid.
Yeah.
And right now, that's where I'm at right now. And it sucks because I know, yeah.
I just want you to know that I've been there. I just want you to know that I've sat in the same seat you're sitting in. And I wanted to change it more than I wanted to breathe. So I had to figure out a way to change it. I didn't have a community. I was solo dolo, figuring it out, spending money, failing and failing. But you know what? I figured that I deserve better. I deserve more. I figured I made it up in my mind that I was great. I was going to be great. I was going to kill it. I was going to do it. I was going to be successful. You couldn't tell me otherwise. Period. Whether you think you can do it or you can't, you're right. Period.
I think, Michael, you gonna be okay, man, because you get all this positive feed in your back of your head because it's subconscious.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you deal with so much negativity in the world. You see all that stuff. It's hard to get out of that because I've been in a place where I was in negative. Like I felt like the world owed me something when I was younger because my mom passed away and I had so much frustration. Now with that, you know, my grandma used to tell me the world owes you nothing. The world owes you nothing. It's your decision to either sink or swim. You have family and friends to help you, but it's you to help fix that situation. That's the only thing that you can do because nobody will be able to fix it but you. And we live long enough to fix it.
I'm gonna tell you how I know you're gonna be great. Because you're here.
Yep.
Because you're here. You probably have 50 reasons to give up before you made it to this point.
Yep.
But the fact that you're here says it all. Just be okay with failing. Like I'm not saying be okay with it, but understand that it is a part of the process.
Yes.
If you're not failing, you're not growing. You know what I'm saying? The fact that you came back and say, yo, I'm trying this pitch and I'm getting the door slammed. Cool. Now we know what don't work. Let's focus on what works. Let's change it up. Let's switch it up. Right. So it's life. But in business, the failure can be a little more tangible. We can feel it. We can touch it. We can smell it. We're afraid of what we could possibly lose for failing. But take that energy and flip it. Right. Take your fear of what you may lose and use that to motivate you to get up in the morning and be great.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want my kids to be starving, so I gotta be great. I don't want to lose my house, so I gotta be great. You know, I got a lot of things that I want to continue to do, so I gotta be great. That motivates me to be great. That motivates me to find a way to make this happen. That's when you become great.
Get up in the morning, give yourself positive affirmations, man.
Yeah, look around you. Because I'm going to tell you, you fighting to keep what you have is going to grow into you fighting to build what you have. When you get past the stage of, okay, I did enough to make it. Now let's go out here and upgrade some stuff. Let's go out here and grow and be better. It's going to happen. But I don't, one thing I try to, be real about and be honest and be upfront is tell you I struggled. Let me tell you, I was hiding cars from the repo, man. I don't know nobody who did it better, bro. I park a car in a parking lot and catch an Uber to the crib, and I do all kind of stuff. I was nice. Doing all kind of Rent-A-Center was knocking at the door. Cons was trying to get washers and dryers. But I put a Ring doorbell on that door and don't answer it for nobody in the uniform. But I'd be like, you better shut up. Kids knew how to freeze and be quiet. Everything, bro. I done been there. I done scrape knees and I done been there, bro. I done ate cereal for dinner. And you know what I'm saying? Like, don't you pour that coffee out. You better heat it back up. We're going to drink it tomorrow. Like I'm not, and it took me, like, it started happening. Like, wow, we getting somewhere with this. Wow, look at this. Like, and it's to the point where you can't go to your family and be like, I made $10,000 this month. Because they don't get it. They start telling you about how their transmission is going out and how they alternator bad and they such and such is related. Because they ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? They don't understand what you put into it. They think you got lucky or you just, but they don't understand how many times you failed to get to the point where you're starting to grow that business. So it's gonna sway. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna build. Even if you look at, even if you go back and look at the 5 or 6 times we've done this, just to hear people's story go from, hey, I tried, I did, now it's working. You know what I'm saying? Look at Created. He'll tell you his story was when, like, the story he told about helping his friend with the resume, and like it clicked. The moment where it clicked, because it's gonna start clicking. And it's gonna start clicking, and your clients are gonna see that it's starting to click, and your business is gonna see that it's starting to click. You know what I'm saying? Josh got stories about when he was gonna give up. Like, so everybody's been where you are. You're just in a different part of the roller coaster. But if you keep riding, you're gonna get to the high. And it's gonna keep going up and keep going up and keep going up. It's just something we all face. Like, I don't wanna I try to make sure being real on this channel is making sure I tell people it didn't start that way. It just didn't. I had a Cadillac. I was taking tripods and denting up stuff, trying to get to a shoot, tearing up my car, and I was just all kind of stuff, man. It was rough, but it's my dream. I will not give up. I will not be defeated. You know what I'm saying? It's just I will be there.
Yeah, I think Eli said something really, really astute too. It was a really astute observation about just the negative self-talk, right? And like Ty said, man, we all. It's not that one person's story or situation is better or worse than the others. It's we all can relate. We've all been through drama. We've been through trauma. We've been through, God forgive me, we've been through hell, man.
Yep.
We've been there. And that's why we're trying to get through to you, because we understand where you're coming from, man.
I do have a really serious question, because Eli got the whole microphone there and he typed it, and he could have just like said it.
Right. He going
like the mic is in position. It ain't even off. It's like right there. He got the headphones on. He in the studio about to drop the hardest mixtape I've ever seen. And then he typed.
I'm trying to be very considerate and not talk over you guys. And also, I want to say that you're giving excellent advice. So I do work as a therapist, but you guys are really. I feel like you're doing an excellent job of helping Michael right now. So I'm chilling.
Okay, I just wanted to see, because I was just waiting for you to just step on the mic.
Hey, if you want, I can give you a crash course in negative self-talk, and maybe it'll help everyone. But we also don't have to.
That's the thing.
Okay.
I don't think anybody here wants to see you, Michael, like beat yourself up and be stuck in that past, man. I mean,
I feel like your wife right now. I feel so defeated.
I shut up there.
I give you the big screen for that one. I got to hear this one. Go for it.
You're wrong for that.
What's wrong?
Right. Hey, just a real talk. I feel like your wife. I feel like your wife right now. I beat myself so hard. Like it shouldn't happen. I should have seen it. I should like all these scenarios of what didn't happen, and I didn't look at that one scenario, and it blew up, and it's become a butterfly of chaos. And now then that added effect of Tuesday's live stream, it's like, are you sure you want to do this? Like, it's all good. It's like it got thinking.
So you got 99 things right. You got one thing wrong, and now you're ready to quit.
I'm about to Rafiki him in a second to hit him in the head with my stick.
You got 99 problems, but a blank ain't one. You're supposed to be rapping.
Hey, we was all in the military, right? And there was that one guy who did that one night stand, right? And with that one
big screen, hold up, that demands the big screen. Go for it.
And with that one night stand, he was trash. But what he did was he kept going. He kept trying, kept pushing. So it's kind of like how, like Ty always say, dating and stuff like that. You get another one night stand, you're not gonna mess up this time because you're gonna hit it.
Because you was nervous the first time. Stuff happened. You know what I'm saying? It was cold.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And remember, how long have you been doing? How long have you?
Have me something to drink next time. I can't play with y'all. Right?
Hey, how long have you been doing videography?
This year.
Hey, funny enough.
Hey, my bad.
Hey, funny enough, I've been doing photography since 2018 of February, and I started doing videography during quarantine. So with that, the only reason that you see all this is because of studying and stuff like that. I am not like super successful, man. I just make it look like it's actually successful, and that's they always tell you fake it till you make it, or
Fake
at
it till
least
you make it.
That's
Fake
right.
it till you make it.
Get to the point where you feel like you feel confident within yourself to be able to say, like right now, I my LLC came in and like I was the happiest person ever. I was like, man, I own a business, bro.
Official.
That's what I'm talking about.
I own a business, man. And in all my years of living, I'm 32, about to turn 33. Never in my years I thought I would ever be a business person. Because I always say that it's okay to work under somebody else. I don't have to worry about all the extra stuff. And then I started hearing about other people making money the way they did. I was like, bro, they're actually the ones that not even working.
Yeah. They just own the business. Celebrate your wins, your small wins. Celebrate them.
Yes.
Sit down and breathe. Like, okay. Celebrate them victories, man.
Maybe because I haven't had a win in a long time. Right now, my process right now is demo reel, and beta testing. That's where I'm at right now. And I've been at this step for 4 months now.
Oh, that's it? I was there for 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah, but again, there you go. See, thanks a lot, Ty. You just made my fear go. I gotta put up for this for 2 years.
You're ahead of me,
man.
Because in 4 months you realized that that's what you should be doing. It took me 2 years to realize that's what I should be doing. So you're way ahead of where I was. I was beta testing and didn't have a choice. I couldn't get nobody to pay me, so I had to shoot for free. I didn't go in with a game plan and understanding this is what I need, the information I need to get.
Yeah. Okay.
You're beta testing with a purpose to move forward. You're ahead of me.
Okay. All right. I didn't think of that as a win. I thought of that as just a grind, and then that's
winning, bro.
That's all.
Bro, you got wins all around you, man. Look at this.
Think of the kind of W's. Your name. Look, if you flip them 4 M's in your name, that's 4 W's right there. You win. You got W's everywhere.
White Host Media. There you go.
Yeah. Wykel, I'm gonna call you Wykel from now on because you get them W's.
No.
You're official.
So your name. Wykel Weho. You like Wario over there. I'm gonna get you one of them Wario hats that they Listen, man, it's gonna be a lot of small victories. Listen, you're not gonna see them. It's gonna be little. It's like weight loss. You don't notice it until somebody walk by, like, dang, you done got skinny, and you like, I am? Okay, all right, I'm feeling myself. Now you out with, fishnet t-shirts, and you trying to you're walking past the mirror. Yeah, you get the big jug of baby oil and stuff. You can't wait for the summertime. It happened like that, bro. I was chubby all my life. When I went to the military and lost that weight, and I had one girl like, ooh, I was like, for real? Get this uniform in a medium. What am I doing with this 2X? Had that old tight uniform, the Velcro popping off because I'm trying to get it where I'm, you know what I'm saying? One girl told me I was winning, and that was what I was doing. That's all it took.
Boom.
Walking around here with my shirt off, flexing, and you need to go that way. How hard is that? You know what I'm saying? All it takes is one person to see what you don't see, and you be out here flexing.
Maybe that's it. Not maybe. That is it. I don't see that. Like, I don't see that a lot.
You're not gonna see it.
Yeah.
You're not gonna see it till you look back.
Forward for the trees, man.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, bro. How long you been a booty photographer?
15 years.
A lot of booty.
15 years. Okay. In your first year, did you see a lot of booty to take pictures of? But they didn't let you take pictures of. And
the booties probably got better and better. They went from like square to like.
Yes.
Thank you, because you got better at photography, so better booty started showing up. Like, man, it went from like.
Right.
Eli's trying to hold it in right now.
Trying to hold it in. It went from like cows to like beautiful models. It went from like, you put your own damn baby oil on. Come on over here, I got you. You know what I'm saying? So I get it.
Full service production here.
Right.
So it's our first year, man. I mean, we not even in a year of doing the videography. It's all about trials and tribulations. Mm-hmm. You have your errors. Like if you have an error, write it down. Write the positives down. It'll actually help you. You're like, oh, man, I have so many positives, but I'm worried about this one negative.
Well, it was a negative, really, because I was so confident that hubris, that pride got in me. Because what Ty taught me, I should just be in there and just know that May host meeting is ready. And then that again, I didn't go in person. Like I said, that story goes, I was all telephone. I got click, click, click around 4 times. No, click. Oh. I was dying. And now that 20th, I was dying.
Play that audio time from Metal Gear Solid with the alert.
Like,
the alert.
I need to get that.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
So if that's the case, man, if they're not hitting you up when you have on the phone, take your camera and go inside.
Well, I didn't do that. Like I said, I all 20 of them were all telephone. And like I said, I didn't even.
And they probably was the same tone every.
Yeah, or something like that.
We're here to contact you about your warranty. Click.
And then here's the other thing. I did, like when I did that role play right in this thing last week. When I just about not even a few sentences, I hear Ty, nope, click, and that hit me. It hit me hard because you guys were right. I sounded like a telemarketer.
Especially right now where we're getting all these election phone calls. Hey, this is Bob. We want to see that you vote for click. You just mix right in with them.
Yeah.
So I
Again,
mean, but
it was a constant. It was a constant in my mind. It was a constant negative. I kept on tripping, and then 2 days was.
That'll work.
And then constant tripping. And then 2 days ago was the one that hit that brick wall where I tripped and hit the brick wall. And I had to, and I really had, at that time, I was like, do I really want to do this? And again, and that's why I came here. I came here because am I making the right choice?
Is he making the right choice? Am I making the right choice right now? But listen, the thing is this though, as long as you notice you need to make the change, the wrong choice is continuing to do it. Yeah. The right choice is saying this is not working. Let me switch it up. This is not working. Let me switch it up. But it's growth though. You're gonna be good. You just got to keep your head up. You got to have the confidence. You got to know you a beast. What's that hustling for when he had the hands on the steering wheel? You in control. You know what I'm saying? Go look in the mirror and say, I run this. This is what I do. Sometimes you gotta, you know what I'm saying, you gotta toot your own horn a little bit. Go look at them booties on them pictures and say, this is what I do. I killed it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you gotta have you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta have a little beast mode in you. Like, you gotta, when you do something well, you gotta step back and be like, I did that. I killed it. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. You're just taking your skill set and you're just applying it in a different area. But you are a beast at what you do.
Dang straight.
You are a ferocious monster that's in a cage, and we about to open that cage.
You're about to get unleashed, baby, and that's all I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? That's what you got to do.
It's
like what was the post I made about Jason that was pretty accurate. I got to find it. It was hilarious, but it was spot on. It was my favorite motivational quote I'd ever posted. I'm gonna find it and I'll say it. But
if you want motivation, listen to P. Diddy whenever he get off a phone with somebody.
I've seen that.
Look at P. Diddy motivational speech. He get off a phone. He said, "That's what I'm talking about. This is my place."
Here you go. This is the quote right here. One of my favorite quotes ever. Michael Myers taught me a valuable life lesson. Don't worry about how fast everyone else around you moving. If you're determined, just move at your own pace and you'll kill shit every time. Thanks, Mike. Literally. Just be Michael Myers. Walk and just let people run from you, and they turn around and you right there. And they running and they turn around and you right there. Like, you just hear it. Like,
okay.
It's one of the best quotes. I was like, dang, that is so true. I see people run from him and Jason, and they there.
Yep.
Right
Kung Fu Panda. Love
that
one.
I've never heard this kind of therapy before, but it makes sense.
It never thought about it like that. It makes sense.
Chalk up all those little W's, man. It matters. A lot of little W's. You're showing up here, that's a W. You opening up to people, that's a W. You're taking in information, you're applying what you're learning, that's a W. You know, there's a lot more. Man, we can go on forever on this. Just think about the little things, man, because the little things that you do right repeatedly and consistently are going to matter. You don't need to make a change, 100% change or 80% change. Make micro changes and be consistent at those micro changes. Let me switch up my game. Instead of me calling the phone, let me show up in person. Instead of sound like a telemarketer, let me just be myself and do those little things consistently, right? Let me make sure I put on my Mayos Media uniform when I go in, right? I don't need to go out there and go try to buy a Sprinter van for $50,000-$75,000 yet. But if I maybe get a little bit of a wrap or get something, some decals on my vehicle, show up with my brand, right, and do little things consistently, that's all going to start to add up.
And when it don't work, ask them why it didn't work. Ask for feedback. Ask people to tell you where you messed up at. They'll tell you, I ain't like your shirt. The color is bad. It's an election year. It's red. I like blue. Or I'm blue. It's red. It'd be some stupid stuff. You're like, oh, okay, it's you. It's not me. Okay, we're going to go to the next one. And it may be you. I just didn't like how you, and learn from it. Write it down. You got to learn. You can't be afraid to ask people why it didn't work out. You know what I'm saying? That's how you get better. The feedback. I'd rather get feedback from failure than just have a whole life of success and then I get that one hiccup and I'm just panicking. I don't know what to do. And I'm just crashing and burning. Failure is a good thing when you learn from it. Mm-hmm. It just makes you stronger. So I would definitely, and some of it is just confidence. When you build that confidence up, when you know you a beast, you got to know you a beast. You got to know you in full. You know how you felt when you was in the military and you got full battle rattle for the first time? You got your weapon, you got loaded, you had the helmet on. You were like, you are a warrior and one of the greatest militaries to ever walk on the face of this earth. You are a badass. Like, you are a beast. How does that make you feel? Like, that's how I felt. I was like, man, you are a warrior. Of one of the greatest warriors to ever walk on this earth. You're one of the baddest men to ever. I wish somebody would. I slapped their mama at the graduation. Slapped them and their mama. I don't care. I'm on one. Like, that's how I felt. So you got to feel like that about your business, your brand, your business. You know what I'm saying? And what you build. I feel like that about Flash Film Media.
But you see how I got there though, through training, through the time and effort I put in there.
You can put that into this.
Okay.
You failed a lot in boot camp though. You ain't
Hell
do all
yeah.
the push-ups.
Yes,
right.
I
You
agree.
Failed a lot. You just in boot camp right now. Look at it like that. You in boot camp week 1, where you was getting roasted and toasted, and your arms was, give me 10 push-ups. I'm giving you you know what I'm saying? You there right now. It's okay. By the end of boot camp, you was like, that's all you got. Sorry, you better give me more than that. You better give me 50 this time because I'm knocking them out. You know what I'm saying? By the end of boot camp, you like, we only running 10 miles. That's it. You better add some, you know what I'm saying? In the beginning, you scared to death. Like, you like, oh, I ain't make my bed fat. By the end of boot camp, you are just a monster. Mm-hmm. You are just like, you know what I'm saying? You are just on it. That is one of the best feelings, transformations that you go through, in the military, is because you come in crying damn near. You come in scared to death. And they can't wait to get you when you're scared and you're trembling. They lighten you up. Drop down and give me 10. You like 10? You know what I'm saying? By the end of that, boy, they like 50. Like, that's it. Sorry, you got to give me more than 50. Sorry, that 50 ain't nothing. Sorry, we were doing that in week 3. So that's how it be when you be in the military. I promise you. And we wanted our sergeant to smoke us in our class A's. We was graduating, suits on. Sergeant, smoke us in our. We was that crazy. We want to do push-ups in suits. Sergeant, smoke us in. Sergeant was like, y'all crazy, man. Let me get y'all out of here. We want to do some smokers in our suits, Sergeant. Half right, left first. He's like, yeah. We doing push-ups, you know what I'm saying? Medals flying and stuff. We got to go to a ceremony. But we wanted it so bad because we had, you know what I'm saying? We were so pumped and, you know what I'm saying? Hey, yeah, sorry. That's what I'm talking about. We get up, suits all messed up. Now we got to go clean up before the ceremony. But that's just what training do. You were in that stage. You're in week 2 of it. So it's okay if your arm's trembling a little bit. You better keep pushing. You're in
the red phase right now.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. So, is it a little different for you, Michael, because it's not a drill sergeant that's telling you to do the push-ups? You have to tell yourself to do it?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Yeah. I think Ty is my drill sergeant on this. Really?
I need to go give me a hat then.
Yeah, if you got that drill sergeant hat, I would be like,
I'm sending you an invoice. I'll show up at your house. Get up with your camera.
No, but that's not.
Are you even looking in the eyesight? Private? Are you looking in the camera?
Sir, no, sir. Sir, no,
What are your ISO? What are your ISO? Why are you on ISO 3200 in the daylight? Private? Why are you shooting at ISO 3200 in the daylight?
No,
Right, I'll be there. Let's go. We need to start a photography boot camp. Everybody
That would be hilarious.
get you a whole bunch of backpacks and Pelican cases to ruck in and pull and all that stuff. Let's go. I can do that.
What we have here is failure to communicate.
Yeah. Yep.
Dude, best movie ever.
Dude, if we straight up Full Metal Jacketed that situation,
I was straight up do that. That's the drill sergeant I am. I'm straight up Full Metal Jacket.
oh my goodness.
No, but in all seriousness, there's things in my past that has incorporated into this endeavor of mine, and I know that's bad. I know I can see it. I can see it's bad.
Michael, at some point in time, we all were internet strippers, man. We trying to work over that and take this to the level where we can get paid for what we are mentally and not what we are physically. Look at these men in here. They all at some point had baby oil in the webcam. All of them.
All of them, yeah.
All of them did. But we working to be more than that, to be respected, to be look at Rodney. We working to be respected, to be more than that. His wife like, you did what? You did what now?
She's throwing dollar bills at me right now.
You used to do what? When was this? When was that? We all been there, brother. The thing is, we're trying to be respected for who we are as individuals and our ability to properly expose, an image and not the items that we are. And I know it takes time. It's cool. I get it. It takes time. It's hard for me to be in Walgreens and I walk past the baby oil and they got the new baby oil that's like gel. It got, you know what I'm saying? It ain't even like wet. It's like a gel. Like you got to heat your hands up before you apply it. I'm used to be just like that. The truth is I'm working to be respected for who I am mentally and not how the baby oil glisten on me physically. And that transition is hard. I get it. It's some ups and downs. But you got to know that you're a beast, bro. You got to know that it's about, it's just about the business. It's about learning it. And you got to just keep learning. You only a year into shooting film. I've been shooting videos since I was 17. So it just take time. I'm not saying it's going to take you that long. Now, the business side is something that's new to me because I realized I needed to focus on it. Like I realized it's more important than my ability to properly expose film. And you only 2-3 months in that journey. You know what I'm saying? Like you only 2-3 months into it. And I'm going to tell you how even now working on a master course, I realize it's so much in my head that I got to get out and then put in order in a way that make it make sense that I'm now learning like, gosh, you came a long way. You came a long way because I didn't really sit down and focus on everything. You know what I'm saying? I did so much. And now to look back at it, like to regurgitate it and look back at it like, man, that's a lot. Like, it's just a whole lot. It's a whole lot. Just within the first chapter is just a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? So those are things that you're going to look back and realize that you started here and you're just moving on up. It's just going to take time, bro. Don't get away from the idea of something that is what's the word I'm looking for? You don't
FOMO?
Huh?
Fear of missing out?
Oh, yeah, okay. I think that's what you said. Yeah. Get away from fast turnarounds and get away from wanting what's the word for it when you want something quick, when you want to
instant gratification.
Get away from instant gratification. This is a journey. This is it's not a sprint. It's a long, good run. It's not a sprint. So, it's gonna take time. But pat yourself on the back for how far you made it, so far. And you ain't gotta buy as much baby oil no more. You know what I'm saying? We all had to get that lifestyle up.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. I came this close to getting that new C70 baby oil. Like, oh, this thing gonna be glistening. I came that close. After that talk, I came that close.
The C70?
Oh yeah.
I'm waiting on some A7S's coming in.
Yeah,
But I moved some stuff, but that's a whole nother video.
OnlyFans.
That's a whole that's a whole nother video we're gonna talk about. You know what I'm saying? You got enough pictures on your Instagram to start an OnlyFans. I ain't want to be the one to plant that seed in your head, but
I'm not even gonna go there. I'm not even gonna go there. But again, I fell into the laurels of the negativity. I fell back to maybe it was equipment, maybe it was my training and all that stuff. I'm glad I'm here right now, that I'm seeing the error in my ways. And it's getting there. Right now I'm at a low, but like you said, it's gonna take steps. You guys are hilarious.
It takes time, man. It's just work. Just keep. That's why you got to have a crew that's they got your back.
And I appreciate each and every one of you, no matter what, has given me. Now I can sleep to not think about what I was feeling 3 hours ago. Because I was 3 hours ago, I was like, hey, this is how I'm feeling, Ty. I need help. And I want to thank all of y'all.
What state you in again?
Washington.
Oh, it's a whole lot of places that sell the type of help you need over the counter now.
Legal, baby.
Over the counter. No, I'm joking.
Unless that's clients you're trying to talk to, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to get those clients, man. I'm trying to get those clients too with those orders. But hey,
come on next week, like this is great. Everything is great.
Hey, did you hear about this? This is off topic, a little bit of tangent. In Oregon, did you know that they passed a law that psychedelic drugs are now a certain amount is legal?
I think it's like all narcotics or something about all drugs or whatever are legal. Like if you're not, or you're not going to be arrested for it or something. Like it's something that is going to be treated as like you need to go to rehab, that you need treatment. It's not a criminal situation. It's more of this is a medical situation or psychological situation. Yeah, you need to change your zip code maybe, so that way.
I know. Whatever,
my friend.
All I'm saying is I'm thanking
the whole
y'all.
microphone and he typing. Eli was like, "Let me get my microphone good, just so I can."
No. I'm not interrupting anyone. You guys talk nonstop. I'm just here.
Tie down. We lost Ty. Tie down.
Hey, Eli.
Tie down.
That's what you get.
Oh man, I'm jacking
That's
up.
what you get. Leave
Hey,
me alone.
Eli.
I hit the wrong button.
That's funny.
We're the views and opinions of that outage is not those of Flashform Academy. Thank you.
Hey, Eli, I need to hear that review.
Now I got to edit this video. Thanks a lot, guys. No, I'm joking.
Well, I'll just tell you real quick. It's fantastic. One-word summary of almond milk and whiskey. Fantastic.
Peanut butter whiskey.
Peanut butter whiskey. Wait, let me add you to the big screen. Hold up. Let me get that. What would you? Sheepdog.
Sheepdog peanut butter whiskey.
I just want.
Hey, but it could be any peanut butter whiskey.
I just want to say the views and opinions expressed about peanut butter whiskey is not those of Flashform Academy. Please drink responsibly.
Yeah.
Gotta make sure I put that out there on YouTube. I mean, does it taste like peanut butter?
Yeah, it tastes like peanut butter.
They want peanut butter whiskey.
Am I lying, Eli?
No, he's telling the truth.
Who wants peanut butter whiskey though?
But it's funny.
Mix it with jelly. The jelly, you mix it with a jelly drink?
No. Hey, I'm telling you. Hey, no.
Go to sleep.
No, it's like a milkshake if you add the almond milk. I am not lying.
You add this almond milk. Okay. But next time I'm in one of the liquor stores and they got the sample, I'm gonna definitely try it.
So no, wait, because the sheepdog is only $20. Sheepdog is only $20
for that big bottle.
Yeah,
I'm not drinking it then. I will reject that. You get a big bottle like that for 20. We got a cold top. Oh man, Eli, they say they can't hear your mic.
Okay, maybe that's better.
I'm gonna get ready to wrap. It's almost 4. It's almost 4 hours.
Can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
Does anybody in here have experience with the Chamber of Commerce? I'm about to join soon. Any pointers?
Say again?
Chamber of Commerce, any pointers?
So where are you at? number one.
Boulder, Colorado.
Not that far away from me. And so I only ask this because it can help make a difference. What is your ethnicity, if I may ask that, please?
I'm half Puerto Rican, white.
Okay. So, and I say that for this. You can maybe get up with like just the grand or the greater chamber of commerce of the city or whatever, but also look for possibly chambers like the Hispano Chamber of Commerce in your area, something like that, because we've got some of those here. So we've got like the Greater Chamber of Commerce of Albuquerque, and then we also have the Albuquerque Hispano Chamber of Commerce, which what we were a part of. There were some pretty good benefits that came with that. I think it was like a yearly membership. It opened up some doors. I don't think we got any paid jobs from that, but there's a lot of experience that we got from it and some good networking. So I think in that sense, it does help. A lot of times from what our experience was is that there's very little people on staff that can do the type of work that we do as videographers and content creators. So that might be a good way for you to maybe be a resource for them. But do a lot of stuff that we got, man, like business courses that they would like give for free because we're members of the chamber that we, they would be like 5-week courses, 6-week courses. They would have like breakfast, kind of like meet and greet things. Kind of like talk about who you are for a couple of minutes. People exchange business cards or whatever. But it's a nice opportunity to kind of maybe help with that networking aspect of things.
Cool.
I wouldn't necessarily say it's a money load because we just didn't have that experience. It's possible it could be, but it's definitely a good networking tool.
Cool. Thank you.
All right, guys. With that being said, the only person who haven't talked or jumped on late is Matthew, so I got to pick on him for a quick second. You're the only person that didn't say nothing. That's mic check time. Oh, his mic don't work. His mic don't work. We can't hear you, bro.
Welcome back. Man, I know how you feel, bro.
It's okay. His mic ain't working. We still can't hear you, bro. Anybody know sign language? I'll put you on the big screen, but we can't hear him. Man, we tried to get you on the show, man. And, we tried to get your voice on here. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap. Listen, real quick before I go. It's important. Community is important, Michael. Community is important. Sometimes you just need a hug. Of the week. Sometimes the link of the week is link of the week award goes to Matthew for not having a microphone, but it's all good. Sometimes it's it's about community. It's about being around people who get it, who understand, who's trying to go in the same direction you're in, who facing that same uphill battle. It's extremely important that you surround yourself with people that get you. And this is a great reason as to why. So make sure, I'm sure everybody on here is on the Facebook group. But chop it up, post these questions, these issues with people so you can get feedback and sometimes encouragement from people who get it, who totally understand. So I want to thank everybody for jumping on for this. This is the longest live ever. It's pretty much 4 hours, the 4-hour live. This is a long live. So this is a new record. Everybody broke the record with me. So congratulations on that. And I want to thank y'all for chilling out with me for 4 hours. I want to thank the new faces that popped up this week. I can't wait to see you next week and every week after that. We usually clown around and have some fun on here and get stuff, done and helping each other grow, because that's what it's about. It's about having a group of people which you can do that with. So I'm going to tell everybody to be safe. Peanut butter whiskey in the house, peanut butter whiskey time. If wearing your mask is your thing, go for it. If you don't, that's on you. Just don't cough on me and we cool. And everybody stay safe.
You do the same. Everybody have a blessing. Be safe out there.
Appreciate it.